Hello? Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Good morning, Ari. Good morning, Becca. What is this song? It's barely even a song. Time to fucking vibe. Yeah. Yeah, I got bad news about the video game. Oh. I got bad news about the video game that we're about to play together. It's not a very chill experience. Well, it can be. There we go. There we go. Now that's powerful. Alright, let's open this video game. Good morning, ASCII, and good morning to exocolonists everywhere. Alright, Lo-Fi, I'm sorry, bud, but you gotta go away now. It's time to game. Things that we are. Teenage, specifically exocolonists of the teen age, is what we are. Okay. I hope you're all having a good Monday. D&D kicked my ass last night, and I'm excited to be here instead. Oh, I forgot that the game is just like go. Oh. Oh. Long story short for D&D, last session, one of our party members turned into a monster and almost killed everybody. And then that prompted a lot of very long, very intense conversations with him about it. And then we got to the destination we were trying to get to. And Avery's childhood best friend was there and was like, you know that evil thing that you're all trying to, like, track down and, like, figure out? I think it's my mom. And that was where we ended the session, and I felt like I was going to throw up. I have never felt... I have never felt emotions derogatory like that before in my life. Hi, guys. Oh god. But the good news is, ignoring that, I'm planning a little Humblewood game, and I'm making a map for it. And that's good. That's been fun. I'm making a little homebrew map, and it's very good. Hi, Anemone. Oh, you have acne. What is that? What is that? What creature is this? D&D night is just Twitter silence and then everybody getting on like, I need a cigarette. It was a bad time. I mean, it was a great time. But it was a bad time. What am I doing in this video game? I have no stress or worries. Alright, we did the competition thing. We did the robot. And then we fought in the attack. Like a hero. And now, oh my god, my animals is almost... What is this? Oh, I have the animal book. I want... to... It's a new year. So can I go outside and survey the plains? Hello. Utopia is sorting through stuff the foragers have brought back, putting them into bins to either get analyzed or taken straight to the kitchens. Hey, sweets, she says, not even looking up. You headed out? You and Dis take care of each other out there, okay? She sighs. I gotta get through all this before day's end, she says. It'll take me all day, unless you're here to help out? Sure? Utopia lays out an assortment of mushrooms. Alright, here's a simple one. Which one of these fellas is poisonous? I know. Mushrooms? You got this. You know what kind of mushrooms are served in the canteen, and it's easy to pick them out of the assortment. Unlocked foraging! Great work, Sweets, Utopia exclaims, a big smile on her face. You're a regular pig. Don't worry, that's a compliment. On Earth, they used to get pigs to sniff out buried mushrooms. Go out there and dig up some, why don't you? Finish up what you were doing on the survey team, but come back next month and I'll put you with the foragers, she says. You'll be in the Valley of Vertigo. It's one of the best places to forage for wild berries and other edibles. Edibles? Drugs? Oh, I'm very fast. My legs are long. And I'm very fast now. The terrain here is strange, some kind of smooth rock covered in lichens and tiny plants. It's weirdly warm. Move over it gently. Okay. Wait, if I do this... Yeah... Hey, Aerie, that sounds absolutely perfect. And I would like to thank you specifically. I love Monster of the Week, like... I want to play a D&D game in, like, a modern setting. You know, like, or like a TTRPG game, I guess. Her name's gonna be Jude. As it should be. As it should be, actually. 16, 23, I don't want to lose kudos, though. So, I'm gonna do this. Because I'm tired of losing kudos because of you, Mars. Hating the Beatles is... Yeah, how many people are like, hey Jude, at her, and it's over. Like, it's over. I understand. Why do you get a +1? Oh, +1 to red cards and it turns them red. Okay. 2, 3... 3... 5... 8... Win. No, I'm stressed. What'll I do? After cautiously walking around it for a few minutes and observing quietly, you realize the ground is alive. It's rumbling very slightly. What you thought was just a rock slowly opens. It's an eye. It stares at you dreamily, and you stare back, fascinated. This must be a very ancient creature. It's so vast it's completely merged into the surroundings. There are even trees growing out of it. A little animal, like a moth with huge webbed feet, lands between you and the massive eye and starts preening. The eye dilates to focus on the moth, then it slowly closes again in what you think might be contentment. After a minute, you feel a faint rumble under your feet, regular breathing in and out, snoring. You creep off the creature, careful not to wake it again. What a good boy! What a good boy! Oh, what a good little guy. He's happy. He's gonna take a nap. I don't want to blast through plants. I'm nice to plants and I'm nice to animals. This person is driving down and your visibility is poor. Okay. Look at us at 14. Fancy lad. Okay. Beep. 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 Okay, good. 4 to 12. It's gonna be the best I'm gonna get. Next round, please. Mysterious stranger. I love you. Oh, wait. Okay, 22 for that, or 22 for that. It doesn't matter. Okay, so the next round, and then I'm gonna put you at the beginning. 4. Oh, 6. 4. Oh, it's a neighboring card that is the same. We win. It doesn't matter. Give me perception, baby. You keep putting one foot in front of the other, relying on wayfaring and a fair bit of luck to make your way through. But you see something inexplicable. What the heck is that? You squint into the driving snow, but all you see is white on white on white, and the slightest hint of movement. It doesn't even look corporeal, almost like a cloud, like the snow is coming from it. It's impossible to get a closer look. You pull your collar tighter against the storm and move on. No, the creatures! Oh my god, Sola, you are so fast now. Look at you go. We are fucking zooming. Where are the creatures? There's one. Okay, we've done this before. We picked a fruit and that was rude. But I'm gonna pick the fruit again. And then it's mad. Calm it down. The creature. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay. So 3... Question mark. Well, if I do this, 6. 3. 1, 2. 2. 2. Oh. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 2. Why is this bigger? Oh, because it... Sure. If that's what you want, who am I to stop you? 6. 5. 6. Oh my god. Oh my god. 41. We win. We calm down the creature. Soothe the bush bulb. Yes. New perk. Extra gear slot. From the creatures. Fuck yeah. Wait. Yes. I need to equip all my guys. I mean, I think that less stress is generally better. Oh, I was like, what's happening? You don't click and drag, you just click. Okay. Yeah. I'm very powerful. Oh, hi, Dis. Little man. This and you are surveying together, though he's mostly just throwing rocks at things and seeing what happens. Ugh, this is so boring, he complains. We've seen everything here already. The other surveyors are going to cool places like the subaqueous swamps, places that are actually dangerous. I don't want you to get hurt. The Valley of Vertigo is cool, though. Yeah, I've been there, Dis says. It's neat, but Utopia sends people there to forage. I just want more adventure than picking berries, you know? Shut up, he's not the one slur! Don't call him that! That's so rude! Becca! Fuck you! God, it is the one slur. Stop it! Don't be mean to him! His arms are so long. What the fuck? This goes back to chucking rocks and complaining. We're just here all the time, he says, even though we know everything about it. Utopia says we need to come back every year and take new readings. And quiet here and in pollen in the valley, and we have to be patient because we can't just take stuff without letting nature replenish itself. He sighs, and I mean, I get it, but it's still so boring. I want to explore other places. Sorry, bud. I kind of want to kiss Dis. Like, I want to kiss Cal. But also, you know, I just feel like Dis deserves a kiss. Like, I don't even think it's anything to do with him. I'm just like, this boy needs a kiss. Like, he needs to, you know, for his own well-being. I feel like I don't want to kiss the once-ler. Don't you dare say that about me. I hate you. There's not much to find out here, but the peaceful atmosphere is great for contemplation. You find a particularly beautiful little plateau where you can see the plains spread out before you like a picnic blanket, round lakes dotting the land like glimmering mirrors of sky. Dis is scudding further ahead. He was eager to find some adventure. I'm gonna go up to Dis. Oh, there's no adventure where Dis is either. This is some peaceful territory right here. Boring. Sorry, bud. I'm very stressed. I need to go home. Yeah. What is that? Oh, it's just not. I thought that the plant was the thing. No, I gotta go home. I'm back. Yay. Does anybody have anything to say to me? I can give gifts to people. Wait, I keep forgetting that I should be, like, doing that every month, probably. I have so many Mushwood logs, and I feel like that's not something that teenagers would be interested in. But, like, what do I know? I guess? Do you go to engineering much, Mars asked? I tried to go to talk to Tangent because she never wants to just hang out anymore, not since she got started working on that big project. She snaps her gum. Of course she's chewing gum. My god. Can I click people to see if I, like, gave them a gift? Likes, dislikes. Don't know. Well, your birthday's early wet. Should I give you a gift? I can give you a gift multiple times. Do you like crystals? She likes them. Okay, I thought so. They're shiny. She holds the crystal up to the light and gazes into it. At the right angle, I can see my face in it. For fuck's sake. Okay, what about you, Cal? You like blue bobber fruits. I have those. You're so cute. Who is this? Here you go, bud. Food. He gives you a big hug. Thanks, Sol. I'm starving. How'd you know? Because you're a good boy. Dis, what do you... I don't think you like anything. I don't even know when your birthday is. I'm not gonna dare you to eat the worm. Do you want a log? No. But it was okay. I don't know who would want a log, but I have so many of them. Tangent, your dialogue is just like... Oh yeah, I already read this anyway, it's fine. You like these. Here you go. I'm getting, like, an incredible relationship with Tangent, and I didn't even ask for it. I'm just like, I just found out what she likes by accident, and now... Tangent is standing still with her face held up to the sky, letting blue snowflakes land on her cheeks. They melt almost immediately. She doesn't move as you approach. After a minute, she winces and rubs her eyes. It stings, she says, because it's made of acid. Acid snow? Tang nods. The HoloNet energy says it isn't harmful. It freezes at 12 degrees Celsius and turns into tiny crystals that are so heavy they fall from the clouds. You can see them under a microscope. She sticks her tongue out and lets some of the flakes fall on it. It tastes kind of sour, but sweet, she observes. Fascinating. Tang pulls a sample jar out of her coat. We know what it's made of, but our understanding is incomplete, she says, and places the jar on an outcropping of rocks. The big mushrooms changed in shape and color before the snow began to fall. I wonder, is there some sort of signal that precedes the changing of the seasons? What happens if I expose samples collected in dust season to snow from quiet season? A small, excited smile creeps across Tang's face. There's so much to learn about this planet. I can't wait. You and your brother are so much alike. She is going to hate this. Why would you say this to her? Tang narrows her eyes. Yes, we used to get that a lot, she says. I guess it's still true if you think sneaking out of the colony is the same as valid scientific research. She frowns at you. He's so dumb, she mutters and shoves her hands under her arms. He only cares about feelings. Yeah. Yeah, Tang. Especially as... Yeah. He cares about his own... He's 13 years old. My God. You like eggs and I don't have any for you. But... do you like other things? I don't know. But I got something for you. It's a log. I was sure that you wouldn't like that, but I also don't think you like flowers, so... I'm unclear. Oh, I need to rest at the park. With my boys. Tang is growing up. Just so good. Oh! You and Cal go for a walk with your Hopeye, Sir Hops-a-Lot. Cal loves the little creature, and they love him right back. They must instinctively know that Cal is a safe person. Cal scritches Sir Hops-a-Lot's chin. You're so lucky to have a little friend. Yeah, I am! Do I want to forget? No! Cal, you're my favorite guy! Dad, I was... The fact that pollen set in and it's immediately like, talk to Dad, are you okay? You can hear your dad sneeze all the way from engineering. It's explosive, like he's trying to scare away predators. He's wiping his nose as you approach, on a handkerchief blotted with shimmering pink. Lately, he's also surrounded by a fine dusting of pink pollen that clings to him wherever he goes. You keep brushing the glitter off things in your quarters. He gives you a big hug, then brushes pollen off your shoulder, laughing self-consciously. You haven't heard him laugh much lately. He's been working hard trying to improve the colony's food supply. He's showing signs of malnourishment too, though your mom is worse. You're worried for both of them. Your dad's skin is kind of shiny in patches. He sees you staring and rubs his hands over his arms. Sparkling dust poofs off of him in little clouds, scintillating in the light. Oh yeah, that's a new symptom, he says. Seems harmless though. Dad! You should be wearing your mask. And hide this beautiful face, your dad laughs, rubbing his nose, especially now that it sparkles. He makes a big show of checking his pockets. Huh. Guess I must have left my respirator back in the greenhouse. Why do you want to die? Why? Why is this like a thing that you desire? Your dad sniffles. Gosh, I feel like someone stuffed a whole potato pod up my nose, he says. Like I could just poke a stick up there and pop fresh potato juice. Oh, Dad! Gross! He just grins. What? It's true. You follow his gaze out to the fields and to the lands outside the gate. I wonder if the foragers could use an extra hand, he muses to himself. Yeah, maybe I'll join them out there tomorrow. Neither of your parents are taking proper care of themselves. They're so stressed out from the poor harvest and low food supplies. They try not to let you see it, but you can tell. Maybe your dad's right. A little seasonal illness is nothing compared to the danger of running out of food. If we lose a botanist because he dies of a mysterious illness, I think that would also be pretty bad. You know? Call me a fool, but... Can I go harvest plants? But you can work on the food problem while wearing your respirator. You don't need to pick, Egg. Utopia greets you warmly as you muster for your first expedition with the foraging team. Sola, I'm glad you can make it. We need everything we can out here right. We need we need everyone we can get out of here right now. Boosting our food supplies. I'm ready to sniff out those tasties. This is one of the worst sentences that I will be immediately using in my own vocabulary every day now. Good luck hunting out there, she says, handing you an oversized backpack. More like a basket than a pack. Use your hollow pong to identify edible and medicinal plants and just throw them in here. I'll sort them back at base camp. Oh, and keep on the lookout for creatures. It's pretty peaceful out there in the valley, but even a little bug will get you if you're not careful. Go slow, pay attention to your surroundings. If you're unsure about something, don't approach it. Stay on the path and don't get lost. We don't call it the Valley of Vertigo for nothing. Any questions? I'm sorry? I can flirt with... What's a fine lady like you doing in a... No, finish the sentence. No, finish the sentence. What are you going to say? I love being 14 and flirting with a grown woman, but I can't do this. Will Dis be with me this time? Utopia looks like she's trying not to smile. Nah, Dis is gotta find new things, just not so much the same things over and over. You'll be okay though, she continues. You won't be alone out there and you're doing important work. You're about to leave when Utopia snaps her fingers. Hold up, Sola. We're also investigating some species we might domesticate. Those we'll want to tag and capture. Ideally, we're looking for herbivores that already live in herds, either produce something edible or reproduce quick enough that we can slaughter them for meat. Good. If you see anything that fits the bill, tag him and bring him back. Yeah, I know. I love to bring back the murder. Look at this place! It's so cool! Another Freaky! Yes! You come across just one Freaky. Not one, but a whole swarm of them! Mostly just baby ones about the size of your head! They're all amassed around a massive tree, scurrying up and down the trunk. When you see the tree itself under the swarm, you notice it's the same pale pink as the baby Freaky. Its tentacle-like roots meander a fairly large distance before plunging into the ground. When the Freaky see you approach, they get agitated and they look hungry? Definitely hungry, like dozens of hungry grapefruit-sized furry pink spiders, the stuff of nightmares. Your pet Fluffy doesn't seem scared at all. Oh my god, I'm not brave enough to just, like, leave them alone? I don't want to fight them, though. No, I can't pass by, but I don't want to fight them. They're just little guys. This is fucking terrible. Can I just, like, scare them away? Like, if I fight them, will they just kind of, like, run away? I can be like, get out, and then they leave? Moonforest, thank you so much for the sip. Also, welcome. 20, 21. This is a challenge of 65. They're gonna beat the shit out of me. Oh. No, plus 2 bonus to being straight is what that means, yeah. Okay, we're doing okay. Holy shit, that was scary for a moment. 5, 4, 3, 1. That wasn't so hard. You smack a couple of them to the ground and the rest scuttle up to the bows and hide there. You puff your chest out bravely and walk on. Okay. So that was fine. We didn't go on like a fucking murderous rampage, which is what I was kind of scared of. So, you hear a rustle in the bushes and catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure. Could it be a person? Whatever it is, you quickly lose sight of it in the jungle. We're following it. The wilderness is thick here, as is the fog that comes in waves. You'll need to rely on your tracking skills to go further. I've never tracked in my life. Let's go. Okay, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4. Oh, it makes this bigger. 4, 4, 4, 4. 28. Okay. 5, 4, 2, 2, 4. Win. You're looking for a person, so it's a surprise when you come to face with a weird-looking creature. It kind of looks like a person a bit. More like a tree, really. Some relative of the bushbub, maybe, but more tentacles and slime, like a tree oozing with gooey sap, with 2 legs. Yuck. It makes a sort of brrrr noise at you as you back away. Welcome, Camaro. I'm sorry. Like, we just saw... Ooh, more collectibles. We just saw, like, a humanoid tree creature, and we were like, ah, seems kind of weird, and then just, like, moved on with our life. Rach, welcome! Everybody welcome! Happy Monday! An absolutely enormous tree forms part of the path here. Its roots cut natural stairs into the path, and its magnificent canopy of large flat leaves completely blocks out the sky. They arch overhead almost to the ground and on the other side. Walking under it is like going through a tunnel. In the tunnel is dark and gloomy. Okay, that was a weird sentence at first. In the tunnel is dark and gloomy, unseasonably cool, and filled with the whispering of leaves. You get the sense that something is aware of your presence. Whisper back to the creatures. These kids have absolutely no metric for what's normal at all. Okay, so we get a plus to straights, so it's a 22 for that, or 21, yeah. Beep. Okay, 6, 5, 4, good, 5, 5, 3, 2, 2. Yay! A nearby leaf unfurls and offers you 2 large, hard nuts. You feel a sense of peace and cooperation wash over you, like you and the tree have an understanding. Oh. I feel like I should bring them back to the colony, maybe. Yeah. We're a forager, after all. Utopia can figure out what to do with these. I mean, I was thinking we could plant them inside. Considering everybody is starving, like, to death? What is this? Unsure. You come across a veritable feast of berry bushes. Delicate, fluffy leaved bushes with long blue berries. They look delicious. Research them. Jesus Christ. Or... yeah, remember when Uncle Tonin died? Let's use that as, like, inspiration for what we're about to do. 5, 5. Wait, you turn in 5, 5, 4, 3. Okay. Ooh, big gem boys. 2, 3, 4, 4. I don't want to get too stressed out right now. Okay, I still win. Your research confirms that these blueberries are edible. Harvest them. You harvest the blueberries by the handful, filling your basket. When you bring them back to Utopia, she cheers. These are her favorite. You're sweet, she says, tossing you a berry. Have one. They're delicious. Hell yeah. I saw like an exclamation mark over here, which means someone's probably gonna die. Here we go! You spent some time working in geoponics, so you know your way around a plant or two. Walking through this area, you notice something different about it. The bare ground feels bouncy, like a trampoline, and the plants all look weirdly stunted. Not a lot can stifle nature here, so it's honestly a little weird that there's no grasses or mosses growing. Notice the soil. Notice the unusual biodiversity. I mean, our perception is really high. Notice the strange soil. You peer down at this oddly bouncy ground. It's pink and fleshy, and wait, is it even ground? You kneel and take a closer look, more like a kind of dense moss, or coral maybe. You press a hand to the moist, squashy substance. I hate this. It smells sweet and starchy like cake. It blankets the ground here in a thick sponge-like layer, swallowing up everything it touches. Gross, but it smells so good. You dig a large chunk of the sponge cake up to bring back to geoponics. Further analysis is needed, but you have a good feeling about this one. I don't. I have a bad feeling about it, so glad that we cleared that up. A line of termite-like insects crosses the path here. Curious, you follow them to their destination, a massive sponge-like hive of crawling bugs, my least favorite thing. The bugs are tending to larvae nestled in the holes of the sponge, feeding on the rich royal jelly that oozes from the hive. This entire description is like my worst nightmare. You step in for a closer look and hear a warning hiss from above. Atop the hive is a queen whatever it is. Wait, no. She is the hive. This is disgusting. This is a squeeger hive. Her abdomen has swollen and lodged in the ground here, rendering her immobile, but not defenseless. The hive queen groans and growls at you, and the air prickles with the burning flavor of acid. She must have some sort of defensive acid spray. That jelly looks pretty edible, though. No. No. I'm sorry, but I won't. I'm sorry, but I simply won't. You find a healthy blep bush and harvest some of the leaves to bring back to the colony. Utopia is beyond excited when she sees your haul. Oh, blep, she cries, shoving her hands right into the basket of rustling leaves. Sola, you're a kid after my own heart. Why are we saying this? I'm sorry. What is this image? What is this image? She pops a leaf in her mouth and chews on it, then shudders happily. Whoo, she cries. That'll perk you up, but good. Aunt Anne brews a heck of a cup with this stuff, but me, I prefer it raw. Why are you saying this? She points to you. Don't you go getting any funny ideas. This will turn you green and give you spots. Cross my heart. Stay away until you're older. No. Oh, just because Utopia was born on Earth, she thinks she's an adult just like the rest of them. She's closer to your age than all the other adults. What does she know anyway? You wait until Utopia leaves, then shove a leaf into your mouth. Ugh, you struggle not to spit it out right away. It's so bitter. You can't help but stick your tongue out. Blep indeed. Okay, that's very powerful, though. Mysteriously, you experience a rush of giddiness a few minutes later. Whew, wow, that blep sure is good. No wonder adults keep this stuff away from kids. It's probably addictive. You unlocked drugs. You unlocked drug addiction in the video game. What the fuck is that? 1 second. No, what the fuck is that? Ew, you find a trippet, a large, tasty, plant, kind of? You heard it's sort of like an animal, too, like a lot of creatures on Britumna. It kind of defies classification. Whatever it is, it's huge. It's practically taller than you are. Harvest. You start breaking off the freshest, youngest-looking shoots. The plant shudders. No, we're hurting it. The creature. Carlos, welcome. Right on time. Oops. It's not, like, ideal? It's not ideal. Okay, wait, no, it's fine. It's fine. No, we're fine, actually. It's ideal. Yeah, this plant is alive and sentient like an animal. It's definitely not happy that you're ripping its limbs off. It's hard to tell if it's in pain, really, but you'd say discomfort at least. Stop! Yeah, no, something about what you're doing just feels wrong. You make a note on your map of where it is, but oddly, you never find it again. Goodbye. Come across a cluster of mushrooms. Are they edible? There's only one way to find out. Well, there's a few ways if you're not a coward. Okay. Sorry that we're big brain, okay? Why do you lock a 1 card in the slot? Why did you do that to me? This is a big challenge. Oh god, this is no good actually. Okay, 22, 20, 18, 22. This is no good. Okay, 4. 4, 5. Oh, thank God. You're able to determine that these mushrooms are edible. You fill your basket with big chunks of tasty fungus. Utopia is pleased with your haul. Great work. How much am I stressed? 87? I should go home. That scared me. The music. Oh! You're at lunch with your parents. Sliced soy cakes and watery broth again. Great. When they put down their cutlery and look at each other, then you. Sola, your mom says, there's something we should tell you. We've tried to shelter you from some things, but we think you should know why we've been working so hard in geoponics. There's a meeting after lunch, and I want you to come with us. Okay. You follow your parents to the council room. Mars is also tagged along, and you take a seat near them as your mom and Aunt Anne stand to address the council. After Uticott finally calls the meeting, officially calls the meeting, she gestures to your mom. I'm not going to mince words, your mom says firmly. All of our efforts to increase food production in geoponics have failed, especially given the failure of the pixie beans. The destruction of the fields during the last attack put the nail in our coffin. By the end of the year, the colony will run out of food. The rest of the council murmurs in concern. You and Mars exchange horrified looks. We've been doomsaying about our food supply for 2 years, Flulu, Rhett questions. Do you mean to say we're past the point of no return? Your mother nods grimly. I'm afraid so. Even with rationing, without securing a permanent food source, our supplies will run out by wet season. Time for cannibalism! She gestures to Anne, whose face is grave. Anne and I have gone over the supplies and come up with food plans. We've crunched the numbers. Your mom sighs and spreads her hands. I'm sorry. Geoponics should have been producing better by now. We should have been able to wean ourselves off of soy rations. During wormhole transit, when we lost our hydroponics in the hull breach, she sighs again. I know I've said it so many times, but our crops just don't grow here. We need those algae tanks. We need the microbial soil from Earth. Oh, God. But it's not Mom's fault. It's not. The survival of the colony shouldn't rest on one person's shoulders. It's not fair. She's been working harder than anyone. She did everything she could. The council mumbles in agreement. You decide they probably never really blamed her or your dad. The only holdout is Mars, who crosses her arms and grumbles that it's clearly a problem with leadership. So what do we do now? Instance asks. Starving to death isn't an option. No, it isn't, your mom replies. We need to secure a food source this year before our rations run out. We're working double shifts in geoponics, but it's not enough. We need more people planting, tending, turning the soil. We need more hands. I can pull back the surveyors and focus on foraging native plants, Utopia offers. Even the young folk can help if they've proven themselves around the survey equipment. I'll send out a holo message later. Gained status starving. This has been the burden of geoponics for too long, Uticott says. It's time we all step up for our future. The council nods in agreement. Your stomach rumbles ominously. Oh no. Oh no. Hey, Anemone. I'm so hungry. Oh god. Well, I have an egg. I can eat this, right? I mean, if you want to. I need a break, but I wanted to apply to help in the thing. The mood in geoponics is tense. Everyone's working themselves to the point of exhaustion trying to get enough plants in the ground to survive this year. Oh god. You ask your mom if they're still looking for people for that farming job. Sure, kiddo, she tells you. This is assuming you've been studying up on your biology. School comes first. I mean... like... the colony is starving. Like, do I could go out and forage more and find the creatures. Or I could help with the gardening, is kind of the vibe. Like, I feel like we would. So, Rum claps you on the back. Oof, she's just as strong as she looks. Great, she says. Come see me in geoponics when we're ready to start. It'll be more fun than wheeling dirt around, I promise. Okay, I need to take a nap, though. So... the garden is such an extravagance normally, but during a famine it's almost irresponsible. Your mom hasn't had a lot of time to weed here lately, so you donate some of your free time to cleaning up around the flowers. They're pretty, but not edible. What a shame. Do I want to forget? Hiding in the creche? Yeah, I do. Get rid of it. Mid-pollen. Hey, Dad, how are you? Are you dying? I can help with the animals. You need to stay hydrated and rest if you're not eating as much as you should. I hate this. Can we research the weird ground we found? That's true. It doesn't give me the options specifically. I'm in a really good mood, and also starving. Let's do that. You've been studying the sponge cake you found out in the Valley of Vertigo in that oddly squishy trampoliny ground. As you suspected, it is a type of fungus. The analysis bench tells you it contains edible starches. Once dried and processed with a maturing agent, acidic spark snow would work nicely. It will make a wonderful flower. The challenge now is to cultivate it. It multiplies quickly, and you've seen how it stops anything else from growing near it. Ask your mom. Oh my god. No, absolutely not, she says before you even open your mouth. Get that out of here before it contaminates the crops. We all know how the pixie bean experiment turned out, she says. I know you've studied the sponge cake, but I'm still not sure about it. Do I want... I mean, I'm sure it's safe, but is it going to consume the other plant? We're dying. But flour would be good. I'm sure this is safe. I checked. You show her your research. Your mom rubs her face. I know, I know. You're a real chip off the old block, aren't you? You probably have its whole genome mapped already. Fine, let's find a place for it. You plant the sponge cake in a special field, quarantined on the other side of the geoponics domes from the rest of the crops. By the end of the month, you can already tell that it's taken root and will start producing viable food soon. Hopefully you can squeeze a harvest out of what you planted before dust comes. Many of the earth crops grow through dust and need to be harvested before wet. This means the colony has more food available year-round. It's going to be an incredible boon. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. 4. Win. I was really confused by that, and the fact that it wasn't like a challenge that was locked, and like I thought I was gonna get another round, and I almost fucked that up. New perk. Collectibles respawn faster, thank you. Am I gonna get more, like, logs that I don't need? Or want for any reason? Okay, we're gonna garden, though. We're gonna work on the farm. It's a proud day for your mom. You're finally following in her footsteps. She meets you at the gate to the gardens. Hello, Sprout, she says, sounding chipper. Come on, we've got a lot to cover before you'll be able to keep up with the rest of us. Finally, some real farming. Your mom shows you around the fields and the geoponics domes. You'll mostly be working in the fields with the hardier earth crops, like the potatoes and the corn, as well as the native plants we've managed to cultivate. She shakes her head. And with the state of the crops right now, we need a miracle. She's right. The crops are worryingly meager. Sickly yellow soybeans and potatoes with lush, enormous leaves, but barely any potatoes under them at all. You spend the rest of the day pulling weeds and watering plants. You're dirty up to your waist by the time you're finished, but it's good, honest work. You're proud to be able to do something that helps out the colony. Cal gives you a high five and invites you for a cool drink in the cafeteria. All the other agriculturists join you. Of all the places in the colony you've worked, geoponics is the most like a family. Maybe because they've always been your family, thanks to your mom and dad. Someone broke into the gardens last night and stole some green tomatoes. What a waste. Not only were they probably too bitter to eat, but now you don't have the seeds to replant. Your mom is furious. Your mom calls everyone for an all-hands meeting. She looks grim as she surveys the group. All right, farmers, listen up. Based on my projections, geoponics should have been producing 70% of the colony's food by the end of our 3rd year, she says. The rest was to be provided by stored rations and hydroponic algae greenhouses aboard the Stratospheric. The agriculturists all nod. Everyone knows where this is going. Because we lost so much of our hydroponic equipment in the wormhole incident, as well as 90% of our soil and bacteria cultures, we're nowhere near the production we need to be at. We also had hoped to have domesticated at least one native crop, but as we found from the pixie beans last year, we have had some more work to do on that front. She looks every one of you in the eyes. You're my people, my family. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. The colony is going to fail if we don't get a handle on agricultural production. People will die. You feel a pit in your stomach that's not just from hunger. You can't imagine someone as strong as your mother just wasting away. Your mother pulls up a hollow screen outlining work plans for the season. You feel your own hollow palm pulse as you receive a copy. There's so much life here on this planet, your mother says, but it seems to fight us at every turn. I've sent soil chemistry analysis to your palms, courtesy of Geranium. The soils need to be conditioned extensively to support earth crops. We need to cultivate more Vertumnus crops in partnership with the foragers. We need to salvage what we can of hydroponics and get that up and running by the end of the year. Your mother would never stoop to being beaten, but you can see the lines of fatigue around her eyes. It'll take a superhuman amount of work to turn this around, but it is still possible, she says. You are the people who will save this colony. I believe in us and the miracle we can perform here. Thank you for being here to do the work. Now, let's get out there. Please don't die. Fuck. Oh my god. 5. 5. 2. 2. 2. 5. Oh. Oh, 'cause it's you. Get out of there. Get out. Stop it. Get out of there. It's time for Vertumnalia, the yearly midsummer celebration, when the colony gives thanks for its good fortune. Yeah, you know, all the good fortune that we have. You know. The good fortune? Well, it would be. But as you file into the main square, you can't help but notice that the feast table is nearly empty. What Anne lacked in resources, she made up with care. The dishes are lovingly plated. Soy cakes glisten, steam rises from buns stuffed with mince, and there are great pitchers of vegetable broth rendered out from even the most inedible food scraps. There's a neat stack of sugar cubes for dessert. Whole sugar, what a luxury! In an underwhelming feast, that'll be the highlight. Governor Udicott's welcoming speech this year is short. Her frail body trembles as she welcomes you all to Vertumnalia with a dry, whispery voice, then has to be helped off stage. Like all of you, she's been feeling the effects of the famine. Everyone clears away the chairs for the annual competition. Which one do you participate in this year? The bots again. We're doing it again. Look at these cutie pies. Look at Calm. Com adds something new every year, but no one's really at their best given the rationing. Running around sweating in the hot sun seems like a luxury nobody can afford, even you energetic kids. The spectators listlessly wave fans as Com announces that this year's edition will be thumb wrestling. Last 30 seconds against Com or get a time penalty. Nem's face falls. No fair, she exclaims. Com's the ship-wide thumb wrestling champion. He talks about it all the time. He's the worst. Oh my god, Com, what a skill. Com just shrugs and blows his whistle for you to get into position. Fuck yeah, dude. I'll wrestle a thumb. Oh, that's... Well, it's still 20. If we do this, it's 20. Yeah, let's just move on. And then do this. And then do this. And then do the sheep. Very good. I win without doing anything. And then this. And then this. And then win. You don't beat Com at the thumb wrestle. Nobody can. He's the best. But you do manage to hold on through 10 seconds of maneuvering and fake-outs and double fake-outs. The man is a master. In fact, the things you learn from Com in those 30 seconds can be applied to the bot you have to wrestle at the end of the contest. You wonder how you never noticed before how much bot wrestling is finesse, not just brawn. You win handily. Nem whines at Com for being unfair, but she still takes second place. I have 3 of these now. I'm so powerful. After the festivities, the whole colony takes a few days off for a break. Well, except for geoponics, and the foragers, and the kitchen, and everyone who uses the break from their usual work to help out in places that didn't close. Okay, it's not really a break, but you try to take it easy anyway. Okay. I must garden. I promised Mama that I would garden, and now I must. Your mom is working in the fields when you arrive. She works the fields when you leave. Every day she works the longest and the hardest. You know your mom is strong, but not that strong. It worries you to see her growing more gaunt and pale as the famine stretches on. Even your dad pitches in to help in the fields when he's not analyzing the plants to see if there's any way to make them better suited to Vertumnan soil. He always has a joke to spare or a friendly word. It's nice to have him around, even under these conditions. This sucks. Your dad's a total nerd when it comes to crunching statistics about the colony's food production. Through him, you learn that the average person eats approximately 200 kilograms of dry rations every year. That works to about 2,000 calories a day. There are about 100 colonists to feed at 2,000 calories a day, so in a year you need to produce about... Oh, well, no matter how many times you think it over, the math is grim. There's 100 people here? Where? Even with all your hard work, geoponics is providing far, far less than the colony needs to survive. It all feels so hopeless. What the fuck? No! Knowing that all your hard work still hasn't been enough, well, it breaks something in you. Hunger and desperation boil together in your stomach as you work, like bitter acid. You're working so hard, and you're still starving. You deserve to eat. You need to eat. If you don't eat, you're not going to be able to work as hard as you need to. So when it's just you and a wheelbarrow of anemic-looking carrots, what do? Oh god. Oh god. I don't know. I want to not steal, but I'm trying to be in the headspace of a starving 14-year-old, you know? You know? But also, like, seeing everyone else be starving, I don't... Like, mom is dying. Dad is dying. No. I won't do it. It takes an extraordinary amount of willpower, but you get all the carrots weighed and delivered to the kitchens. The food is for everyone. It's not a lot of food for 100 people, but at least you'll all starve together. Right? See? We're a good boy. Derogatory. Oh wait, no. I want to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Oh no. Okay. I hate when I play video games and I'm the desire to be a good boy, you know? It's like too strong. Alright, let's go foraging. I want to find like a cow. Run, Solo, run. If we can bring a cow back or something, can you imagine? Get this sponge flour, make some cakes for everybody to enjoy. You decide to take a shortcut through the jungle to a path you were sure was just up ahead, and now you're lost. Everything looks the same here. The plants are too high to see any landmarks, and you swear some of them move around when you aren't looking. You try to check your positioning with your holopalm, but the damn thing isn't working, and won't connect to long-range communications either. Typical. Utopia did warn you the comms were flaky out here. You think you can tell north from the position of the two suns, but that's it. No, we know what we're doing. You climb a tree and chart a path through the wilderness from above. With that information in your holopalm, navigating to the nearest landmark is a breeze. Fuck yeah, it is. Are those legs? Oh no. You come across a huge field of flowers. Most are teensy pink ones, but some are beautiful big yellow ones. You check the holopedia. Looks like they're a brand new species. They don't even have a name. They need a name, like butter dandies, even though they look like neither buttercups or dandelions. Honestly, they kind of look more like spitting cobras than anything. Why would I pick them all? You find the tallest, most perfect yellow flower and leave the rest. No need to be greedy. If they're not even edible, then what's the point? Why would I take like 7 hours out of my day? Which direction did I come from? I'm lost. So jot that down. Okay. Good. Bobber fruit. Egg. You come out of the trees into a large grassy clearing. In the middle is a... well, you can only describe it as a pedestal. In the middle of a cradle of flowers sits a massive egg, easily larger than any egg you've seen before. It's white with red flecks, and it's just sitting here in the middle of this empty clearing, totally unprotected. Take it. You put one foot up on the pedestal to brace yourself. The thing is huge. However, as you do, the pedestal starts moving. It starts growling. Its flowering appendages unfurl to reveal the face of... a manticore! The creature! It narrows its feline eyes at you and rumbles in warning as it stands to its full terrifying height. You figured out where the egg came from. With your arms full of egg, you can't really fight. Your choices are limited. Impossible to fight the manticore. Keep the egg and run. I'm taking your son. I'm sorry? I'm taking your son. So... think about that. $27, $25, okay, $24. Okay. 3, 4, 2. No, wait. No, it's... I did this totally wrong. 2, 2, 2. You stumble blindly through the clearing towards the relative safety of the trees, the cumbersome egg blocking your view of your own feet. You fall a few times, just barely managing to scramble up from under the claws of the manticore. You eventually find a member of the Expedition's protection squad who fires a warning shot with her plas rifle over the manticore's head. It roars in defiance and slinks into the trees. Oh god, the egg's pretty addled from all the running and falling. If it was gonna hatch before, it certainly won't now. No! Who? Who? I heard the ding and my thing won't update. Who? Streamlabs? Hello to whoever is here and is here. So... well, I wanted a son. Something about the ground here draws your attention. It's oddly lumpy. Scope it out, baby. Oh, wait. 6, 6, 5. $28, $31. Yay! Oh my god. 2, 2, 2, 4. And the 3 just thrown in there for good measure. Whoa, it's a potato minefield! Underground, the recent rain has swelled the young melons to bursting. You better watch where you step or you'll end up knee-deep in potato juice. The good news is, they're tasty. Forage one. They're so dang heavy, the calorie-to-weight ratio isn't optimal. Most are too young, but you find a ripe one, dig it up, and roll it back to the depot. Flame Sparkly! Hello! Welcome! Everyone in my colony is starving to death. Hope you're having a good Monday. Oh, there's an exclamation mark up there. A brittle slug is rooting around in the underbrush. It's like a little porcupine with no legs. Well, little is relative. It comes up to your waist and it must be at least 100 kilograms. You've seen a few of these up at Geoponics. They're easy to catch and their spines and berries naturally fall off and are edible. A chewy, renewable source of food, kind of like jerky. Maybe you could catch this one. Try to catch it. The creature! 6. God damn it, card becomes 4. Ooh, 7. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna become 4. 4. 4. 4? 6? 27. 33. I'll take a 33. If that's something that, like, you're gonna offer to me. 6. 2. 4, 3. Card becomes 4. Win the creature. You're pretty sure this one is a female because it has bristles on its butt as well as its head. Her eyes are a deep green. You think you'll call her Emerald. She seems calm in the net, like she isn't too worried about where she might be going. You crouch down with a clump of leaves and she sticks her muzzle through the net and eats them right out of your hand. Her whiskers tickle. You pet her forehead and pack her off to Geoponics Barns. You could go visit her there later. I can tend to animals in Geoponics. That is all I will be doing from now on. So, you're alone exploring an unmapped area of the Valley of Vertigo. The pollen is thick here and your air filter is overworked. A warning light has been flashing orange for the last 10 minutes. But there are plants here that you've never seen before, flowers with intense rainbow hues and strange lumps of fungal matter which pulse as if they're breathing. You cut some samples. Utopia will totally give you extra kudos for these. The pollen's especially thick up ahead, deep fuchsia and shimmering with color. Everything here seems to dance with tiny flecks of reflected light. It's kind of magical. I'm gonna die like my dad. You push forward into the suffocating pink fog. It's so thick you can only see a few meters ahead. You follow the glimmering towards where it's densest. You come upon a glade filled with what seem to be strange topiaries. They loom out of the glittering fog, each in the shape of an animal. They're all formed from the same spongy, glittering pink substance and dotted with finger-length fungal growths. You're so distracted you almost fall into a large hole in the center of the glade. Please check for danger. You've seen plant-like animals before. Are these topiaries actually predators waiting for you to get close? You watch them carefully from the edge of the glade. They're completely still, not breathing. There are no life signs good. Your envirosuit beeps a warning. Take a sample of the fungus. As you bend down to take a sample, you realize the dense, shining haze is coming from the topiaries. The fog is seeping out of the holes at the end of each fungal growth. You break off a few of the growths into a collection vial. You remember helping Tang for extra credit in biology class. She said that the shimmer, the seasonal illness that affects your dad in pollen, is some kind of colonizing fungal growth. Could this be related? Leave. We're not dying. We're not gonna die. You leave. As you exit the thick pollen and are able to see again, your mask warning lights start flashing red. The filter's finally clogged. You got out of there not a moment too soon. You lurch back to the checkpoint where the other foragers quickly replace your filter. Utopia chides you for not paying attention. Go home. You're surprised when you wake up this morning and your mom and dad are both still in your quarters. Usually they're gone long before sunrise. You pull back the curtain and they look over at you with big smiles. Sola, your mom says, cradling a mug of blep tea in her hands as your dad rubs your feet. Good morning. Good morning? Someone didn't hear the good news, your mom replies cheekily. We're announcing it later today, but guess what, kiddo? I think we're gonna be okay. She chuckles at your sleepy, confused look. The famine, she explains. We still need to do the work, but we pulled out of it. We were out of the spiral. We're going to be okay. Between farming and foraging, we've secured enough food to make it through until harvest next year. Just until next year? Your mom shrugs. It's better than this year. We'll have to take stock again, but what we managed to do should keep paying off, and it won't take as much work next year. Oh, Becca, I will go to biology. Your dad sighs happily. I'm already looking forward to dinner. I haven't really cooked in ages. What should we have, Sola? Sponge bread curry? Your mom calls it bunny chow. A square loaf of sponge cake bread with a center cutout stuffed with veggies and spices. Sweet and hot and so good. You and your parents cook a private meal in your kitchenette. Your dad does most of the work, but you help. When you sit down for a quiet family dinner, you realize this is the first time you've done this, and you can't even remember how long. You talk about your day in the most mundane way possible. It's so pleasantly normal. Yes! I'm not starving anymore. You don't even get close to clearing your plate, but since your body isn't used to so much food. But that's okay. You eat slowly and savor it. Every bite is heaven, and made even better by knowing that you had a real impact on the colony's future. Bunny chow. Bunny chow. Take. Does anybody have anything to say to me? Anemone, no. Okay. Good. I got another fruit for you, bud. Cal's standing in the garden watching a pair of dwarf's moth flutter overhead. They're the worst, he says, frowning. We gotta find a better place to put the grain, because they just get in everywhere. You'd be surprised what kind of hole they can squeeze through. I found you a bobber fruit. Yay. Oh, he wants to talk to me now. Cal waves at you as you enter the garden, leaning on his shovel. Hey, Sola, he calls out, but his eyes look past you, down to the path where Anemone is beating the absolute tar out of a training dummy. Her fierce battle cries echo across the colony, making Cal wince. She's been going totally hard lately, huh? He says. He scratches his face, smearing dirt across his cheek. She asked me yesterday if I wanted to spar with her. She said it would be good for self-defense. Cal smiles sadly at the memory. I told her I don't want to fight. Not her, not a training dummy, not anything on this planet. For real. I've never seen her get so mad at me. She called me a baby and told me I'm going to end up forcing everyone to protect me because I'm weak or helpless or whatever. He seems upset and stabs the ground a few times with his shovel. I just don't think it's right to fight anyone, especially the Xenos. They were here first, he says. What do you think, Sola? Sometimes you don't have a choice. Geez, you sound like an adult, Cal grumps. They always tell us to see both sides of an argument, but I tried and I just... He shrugs. I just think if you have to hurt someone to get what you need, you don't deserve to have it. Wow. Yeah, I see your point. Wow. Cal looks relieved. I'm glad you think so too. Sometimes I think about the Xeno I had to kill the first time they attacked. Like, obviously I'm glad I'm alive, duh, but now it's dead. His eyes go back to Nem. She stopped sparring with a training dummy and is looking up at the gardens as she has a drink. Neither she nor Cal wave at each other. It was an accident. I didn't mean to kill it, Cal continues quietly. It just happened. I wish I could tell it I'm sorry. Cal clenches his fist. There's gotta be a way to figure out how to live in peace with all the cool things that live on this planet, he says. Like, hey, look at this weed I saw growing over here. Cal has such strong convictions. It's one of the things you like best about him, even if some people disagree with them. Learned Cal more. Learned Cal more. Okay? So... You spend a few hours with Cal in the garden as he shows off the area that he's getting ready for the next planting season. The adults are really starting to trust him with more planning as he gets older, and he beams with pride. When you finally head out, you're just as dirty as he is, but you feel so much lighter. Yay. I need to research this for Dad. 1 second. Botany. You report to work in the geoponics laboratory, bringing along the sample of weird spongy purple-pink stuff you found in the fog cloud in the Valley of Vertigo. Your dad is very interested in your sample. He has you analyze it right away. Scrutinizing your sample under the microscope and then with the spectrometer, you compare the spores to known substances. You determine it shares a chemical compound seen in fungi with psychotropic effects. It could make people hallucinate. Huh, your dad says. That explains some things. You think about those creatures, those topiary, covered in this stuff. They were all grouped together in the same place by that weird hole. Did the fungus make them go there? But why? Hey, Dad? Have you been, you been seeing some stuff, my man? You okay? We're not gonna elaborate on that? Take a look at these, your dad says, sending you an archive on your hollow palm. He's kept detailed records of the air quality, humidity, and temperature spanning back almost to the day you landed here. There are even some actual air samples preserved in vacuum-sealed tubes. You take a look, and sure enough, the spores are always present in the air here and get much worse during pollen. Wait, could this be what makes your dad sick every year? Is it trying to colonize him like those creatures? Yes, this fungus must be the cause of the shimmer sickness. Looking for a way to neutralize it, you hit the archives again. You work at it for a few days, but identifying a compound and noticing a pattern is one thing. For the heavy science, you need help from Dr. Instance. This is strong work, Instance says, scrolling through your findings on her hollow palm. You say you gathered this sample yourself? That's impressive for someone your age. She summons Tang to join you. Please get Tangent up to date on your research, she says. She'll take it from here. She has more of a mind for these things. Sensing the shift in power balance, Tang blushes and looks at you apologetically. Okay, well, if she's sad, no one, she knows this so much better. But no one knows this better than me. So. Instance raises her hand. I'm not passing judgment on your abilities, she says placatingly. You clearly know this research well, and I can find nothing wrong with your methods. Still, something this important and dangerous should be done in more controlled conditions. Oh, she liked that we stood up for ourselves. Okay. Tang has been scrolling through your research. This is good work, she agrees, but this is a medical problem, not a gardening one. We're already studying the shimmer, so just think of it as combining your research with ours. The corners of her mouth twitch up, the most of a smile anyone can usually get from Tang. I'd like to work with you on this, actually. I can't believe you got all this from just a sample. Instance nods, dismissing you both. If you'd like, Sola, you can stop by the lab later to check on our progress. Sure. How do I do that? I would love to. Wait. 5, 7, 7, 3, 3, 4... I hope our dad doesn't go in the pit. You know? I'll say it. I hope our dad doesn't go in the pit. Can I, like, talk to you about this? Oh, you just hate it here. I like Tang, actually. You know, she's, like, kind of a psychopath. But at least she was, like, polite about working with us and wasn't like, I'm smarter than you, and I fucking hate you. Because that would be stupid. Okay, how stressed does this make me? I want more animals. You meet your dad by the animal pens, fresh and ready for your first day at your new job. Your dad laughs at your clean clothes and your scrubbed face. Oh, Pumpkin, I'm sorry to tell you that you're a little overdressed for the position, he chuckles. You're gonna get dirtier and all heck today. Go on, put on these overalls and let's get to work. The creature! You change and follow your dad to the float cow pens. He rubs their noses as he points out their names. I know they're cute, but these ladies aren't pets, he says. They're livestock. And more than that, they're not really domesticated like our animals back on Earth. They're more like tame. We give all the animals lots of room to roam, and we feed them well. They're not going to get chased down and eaten by bigger animals, and we help them if they're sick. It's a pretty good deal, I think, but they're still pretty wild, he says. You gotta be careful with them. He leans his elbow on the fence. We were pretty lucky that Vertumna has her animals, he says. Makes it a little easier. We'll probably have real domestic animals in a couple 100 years. Well, kiddo, your dad says, spreading his arms. We got all these animals. What do you want to learn about first? The bristle lugs, the the trippets. Sugar bugs? Oh my god, I'm taking a sip. Holy fuck. Sugar bugs. Your dad takes you to the rows of crates where the soft, squishy sugar bugs are all clumped up together in the moist muck. These guys are pretty cool, he says, picking one up. It perfectly fits in his palm. They're a colony just like us, and if you tickle them, you get... He brushes his finger along the top of the sugar bug, and a little jet of gooey stuff comes out. Sugar bug syrup, he says. Pretty neat, right? What about the bristle slugs? Yes! Well, yeah, we got a ton of them, he says. They're great, slow and gentle and easy to catch, which you already know. Don't let the spikes fool you. They're actually really cuddly, and don't mind it when you pet them. It actually helps them. In the wild, they'd be scratching up all sorts of things to knock off those itchy berries. He scrunches up his nose. They're not really berries. They're more like... eggs? What? Well, they're like berries, though, because they're sweet. And you know what? Never mind. Vertumnant animals are pretty weird. Eggs? Your dad gestures at the herd of float cows. Here they are. Beautiful, aren't they? And pretty gross. You don't want to know where they make their milk, but I'll give you a hint. It's not dairy. Okay. He laughs at your wrinkled nose. It's not any weirder than those when people used to drink cow's milk. I mean, who's the first guy who decided to do that? Don't kink shame. We figured out that if we keep feeding them what they'd be eating during pollen, they'll keep making milk year-round, he continues proudly. Makes them heavy enough that they don't float away. Otherwise, we'd have to keep them on leads like balloons. What about the trippets? Oh, these... I don't like these. No joke, we thought these guys were just plants for the first couple of years, your dad says. We transplanted them from the wild into the greenhouses, but I guess that was just part of their life cycle, because it turns out they're sentient and can move around and stuff. We move them out of the greenhouses into the barns, but we don't really treat them differently. They mostly just sit there. Let's get started. Great, your dad says, clapping you in the back. That's the kind of energy I want to see around here. We need someone to muck out the float cow stables. They might float, but their poop sure doesn't. He hands you a shovel. Have fun! Yes. The creatures. The creatures. Okay, I need to relax in the park. I'm getting very stressed with my little men. I can't give him another gift. It's too soon. Then I'm going to the park. Fuck you. Your mom is here, pulling weeds and taking soil readings to make sure the conditions are right for the flowers. She works on this garden like it's her own child. Probably even more so, because the garden can't spend all day in the creche. I didn't get to, like, kiss my guys. I like these. I like these cards. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, the creatures are gonna come. Oh, fuck, the creatures. Oh, God, the creatures. You're way too scared to go outside during glow season and the gates are closed. Okay. Oh, Becca. Best of luck at the dentist with your teeth. Good luck. Okay, let's, help with the animals again. I want to max out my animal thing. There are only a few glowing plants in the garden, so in the dark of glow, you have to do a lot of outdoor work by lamplight. In the eerie not light, fertile earth dirt looks like the same as Vertumnan dirt. It's so hard to see what you're doing. But I'm gonna kiss the guys. I'm gonna kiss all the creatures. Oh, wait. 333. Wait. 3, 3, 3, 4. Oh, wait. No, that was better. Win. Yay. Here we go. The roar wakes you. It would wake the dead. It shakes the walls, rumbles through the ship's hull, and makes your heart skip a beat. You're paralyzed by a sudden clench of fear in your gut. Through your porthole window, you hear metal screeching and people shouting. Then another roar, guttural and rumbling like the sound of a mountain collapsing. Something enormous is out there. I go outside. You don't know what gives you the courage, but you run out to the fields to face the horrible creature. Face to Oh. It has no face. In place of a face, or even a head, its body just unzips, revealing a mess of writhing pink tentacles and blinking eyes, pocked with jagged, asymmetrical teeth. It stands on 4 enormously powerful legs, each as wide across as tree trunks. Clinging to its back and its thick slug-like tail are clumps of lichen that glow faintly in the night. The creature is nearly twice the height of a greenhouse. It's standing on top of a flattened one, the wreckage of lattice and plants all around. Flickers of light from plas rifles and stun gloves light it from underneath, and the stench of ozone is thick in the air. You see Nem and her brother Com darting in and around its legs with their twin shocks of red hair. The faceless creature lurches into another greenhouse, oblivious to the soldiers trying to herd it away. The monster left a trail of destruction from where it smashed right through the walls. Smaller creatures are pouring in through the gap and heading towards... You're headed straight to command! You watch helplessly as the hordes of animals storm command, sneaking through torn-away panels and smashing through windows. It's too far away to hear the screams, but Governor Udicott's inside. You have to do something. I mean, yeah. The smaller creatures are making a beeline for command, slipping into the heart of the colony while the defense squad is distracted. The line of slinking, many-legged beasts pass by much easier targets, moving with eerie, almost tactical purpose, because they know, whatever's happening, you have to stop them. The scene in command is chaos. The blast doors that would have protected the bridge from depressurization in space are held open by a mound of corpses, both human and animal, and inside you hear Governor Udicott screaming for someone to help her. Good. No, I'm glad. This is so fun. This is just such a fun experience that we're having together. You know? Get out. Get out of here. Get out of here. I mean, I don't, but I want this here, but like... Why are the animals so angry, and why do they, like, know? Okay, so I can get a 10 with this. I can get a 12 with this. I can get an 8. No, I'm gonna do... Where's my 12? There it is. Like, I'd be angry if people showed up on my planet, so, like, I get it. It's just, like, oh my god. I hate that this card is here. I've like never been angrier in my life that this card is here. Why the fuck? Four, 4, 6, 8. Okay, 18, good, because it's a double. I'm not gonna win this one, am I? Because this fucking card is in the way! Oh my god, I won by 1 point. Get me out of here. You beat back enough beasts to help Uticott escape the bridge. As you shelter under a meeting room table, you hear horrible noises from the rest of the ship. Metal screeching, that terrible abomination roaring, the sounds of the creatures outside tearing their way through the hallways and trashing everything. Suddenly, the ship lurches and drops a few feet, buckling under the weight of something massive. Out the porthole window, you see a fleshy pink tentacle slap against the side of the ship before the faceless abomination outside crashes to the ground, taking the entire outer wall of the ship with it. Uticott sobs quietly into her hands in the sudden silence. You wait a long time, until congruence gives you the all-clear. The council calls an all-colony meeting to face the aftermath of the attack. In the oppressive gloom of glow, you gather near engineering with the other survivors. It's one of the few buildings left standing. The corpse of the Faceless still sits in the caved-in wreckage of the stratospheric, spilling its flaccid pink tentacles from its horrible zipper-toothed maw. It's already beginning to stink. But what if we, ate it? As a food source. Governor Uticott takes the stage and thanks you personally for rescuing her during the attack. Because of your bravery, the colony still has its leader. She also acknowledges the bravery of the defense squad, citing their heroism in finally taking down the Faceless. If only it hadn't gotten away from them and stampeded right into the stratospheric. At least they stopped it before it got into engineering, as it would have activated the reactor and left a crater the size of an asteroid impact. Oh my god, geoponics is gone. The greenhouses destroyed and fields trampled. After a year of suffering, starving, and only barely scraping by, you're not only back to where you started, it's even worse. The entire front half of the stratospheric has been destroyed. The living quarters, the canteen, the garrison, the lounge, even the creche, it's all gone. It's only by some stroke of luck that people hiding in the creche weren't all killed. Governor Uticott solemnly reads the names of those who lost their lives. Too many. You all stand for a moment of silence. You feel the weight of loss like a blow to your chest. Nem and her family cry out when her brother Com's name is called, and their quiet sobbing continues through the silence. Oh. I could have saved Com, and I didn't. Okay. I didn't even get to give him a little kiss. Holy fuck, dude, this game is just terrible. This game is just like one awful fucking thing after another, my god. With the living quarters destroyed, everyone moves into the engineering wing for shelter. You're crowded into the classroom with other families. The adults try to make it seem like a sleepover, but you're all still so shaken. Nem cries about her brother and screams at anyone who tries to comfort her. Eventually, you just ignore her grief, as painful as it is to hear her sobbing at night. You feel like you've been awake for days and you'll never fully sleep again. You try, but you keep jerking awake, crying out in fear. Eventually you fall asleep sitting up, held in your father's arms. Your sleep is fitful, but mercifully dreamless. Good. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Where's Anemone? Where's anyone? Where's Dis? Okay, there's Dis. I'm assuming Anemone's inside. Or outside killing everything. How is everybody? This is examining a bit of rubble, turning it over in his hands. I wonder if we're ever gonna find, like, alien tech, he says. Wouldn't that be cool? You know, bud, right now, I don't know if I feel like it would be cool. Your mom looks overdrawn with lack of sleep. Be careful out there, she says wearily. Don't want anything to happen to you, too. Cal puts on a brave smile. We have a lot to be thankful for, he says. We're still alive, but has to count for something, right? Oh, bud! Like the other people in geoponics, your dad has been working day and night to salvage what he can after the attack. It's gonna be okay, he promises. We just need to work hard. Yeah, but what about when the creatures come back? Which they will. Mars crosses her arms and skulks. What is the point of having all these kudos if I can't actually use them to, like, buy stuff we need? Like, hello? It's not like we can mail order supplies through the wormhole. My god, Mars. Tangent frowns. I just don't understand, she says. Why now? Why does it keep getting worse? Okay, well, I'm assuming I have to go inside, because this is the only place I can go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Screen cap mourn with 5 smiley faces next to it. Engineering is crammed with families and what belongings they've salvaged from the destroyed living quarters. You could spend them in your credit temporary lodging in the classroom or help the adults try to fix things. I mean, rebuild. The first month of quiet passes, each day plodding one after the other. You still have trouble sleeping in the classroom barracks, but there's nowhere else to go. Every day you wake up with the others and try to make the best of it. Grief and anger come in waves, not just for you, but for everyone. Some days are better than others. You're assigned to help rebuild the walls. The first part of the month is spent just dragging away the wreckage, sorting it into salvage or recycling. By the time that's done, crews disassembling parts of the stratospheric have delivered enough salvage that you can begin work patching up the walls. A sense of urgency permeates the crew. After everything, people need to feel safe. This is on the work crew with you, something he does begrudgingly. Walls didn't help the first time, he grumbles whenever anyone asks for his opinion. We should just tear them all down and live like the animals do. Someone planted a bunch of buildings on my land, I'd be pissed off too. I mean, he has a point. They didn't help the first time. Like, it's probably nothing, but I'm gonna work hard. By the end of the month, you've made noticeable progress. There are other priorities and not a lot of construction material, but when last year's mushwood harvest is done drying out, you'll be able to do more. Even if Dis is right that it didn't help the first time, it's better than nothing. Tangent and Chief Engineer Instance have been hard at work in the lab trying to find a cure for the shimmer disease. You join them in their research. You're the one who found a sample of the shimmer fungus and analyzed it. You're the one whose father suffers the most from it. You confirm that the shimmer is an airborne fungal disease and that the thick, choking spores and pollen are the same fungi from the Valley of Vertigo, the ones that colonize the host and turn their bodies into more spore-producing fungus. Finally, you have a long-due breakthrough. Sunlight! You try inoculations, antibiotics, antifungal creams, but what finally works is a high-intensity light treatment mimicking the full force of the sun's during dusk, coupled with an injection to increase its potency. Of course, Tang exclaims. The fungus colonizes animal life during pollen and some succumb to it, but the intense light of dust scourges the fungus from the survivors. It's all part of the natural cycle. The treatment works on samples, not test it on a subject. Test it on yourself, don't test it on your dad. You open a triple-locked research room and pass through an airlock. You don't have your envirosuit on, but that's the point. You need a strong dose of this fungus in your lungs. Tangent loves it. The small room is filled with that shimmer fungus. It's growing on everything. The floor and walls and on lumpy shapes. There were some kind of biological matter once. Now it's all just fungus, violet and shiny. You breathe deeply, marveling in the feeling of soupy, dangerous air infiltrating your body. Tang watches safely from behind the thick plexiglass. You can't tell if she's jealous or impressed. I feel really good about it. Next, you slide into the light therapy machine to bask in the nice, warm light for a while. You even have a nap. Dr. Instance takes your vitals and runs samples of your fluids through various machines. She's excruciatingly thorough, but after a few days she concludes that the treatment is a success. You still carry a high fungal load, but its effects have been nullified by the light therapy. Oh, I got an achievement called His Little Tomato. Help Tangent cure the shimmer. Remarkable, Instance says, going over your findings. Now that we have a frontline therapy, we can begin treating the population to prevent the fungus from taking hold. She looks over at Tang. Sola's discovery will be of great help with our other research. You expect Tangent might be cross that you got the credit, but she nods, looking pleased. You're just thankful that no one was killed, not your father or anyone else. The colony is safe from the shimmer. Fuck yeah, it is! Bang, bang, bang. 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 Win. The sun's finally dawn again on your birthday. You wake early and climb to the top of engineering to watch the first sun's watery rays break the horizon as the wormhole recedes across the sky. Dawn should represent hope after a long period of darkness, but this light only reveals the full extent of the damage to the colony. You've been having trouble sleeping like most people. It's hard to find rest crammed into the classroom with all those other kids and their families, and every time you close your eyes, you shake your head to clear the memories. You pull your blanket more tightly around your shoulders. Not your blanket, that one's gone. And stare out as the sun rises on the horizon, meager and sickly. Hey kiddo, you here? Then your mom comes and sits down beside you. Thought I'd find you here. You both sit in silence for a while, watching the sunrise pick out all the broken glass littering the fields, glimmering like a field of stars, but it's wreckage. After a few minutes, your mom nudges you with her elbow. So, she says, your first apocalypse, huh? She huffs, smiling self-deprecatingly. First one's always the hardest, she sighs. When the first colony was attacked back on Earth, I thought that was it. Everything my parents told me about, the power of community, all that, I thought they were full of shit too. She turns and gives you a serious look. It's okay to be sad right now, and mad too. I'm mad as hell. I want to get out there and rip every goddamn mushroom out of the ground, and that's keeping me going for now. But that's not going to be forever, Sola, she continues. Eventually that sadness and rage is going to cool, and you have to figure out how to feel after that. She points at your chest. Hope lives here, she says. It's the human condition, we just don't know when to give up. Your mom squints out into the sunrise. I had to figure out how to have hope too. I needed it, to get on a busted-up spaceship with your dad and launch myself through a wormhole. Hope is why we had you. She smiles. Things work out in unusual ways, Sola. It just takes time. You watch the sunrise together for a few more minutes. After a bit, your mom pulls out a little box tied with a piece of gardening twine. From your father and I, she says. Happy birthday, kiddo. Sun Medallion 2! The sequel. You know what it is before you open your eyes. Your old medallion, the one your dad made with the sun on it to represent Earth, was broken during the attack. In all the chaos, you didn't even notice, but your parents did and made you a new one. It's just like you remembered, a similar design with a wormhole this time to represent Vertumna. You thank her and squint out of the swirling wormhole, still barely visible in the brightening sky. It's so massive and awe-inspiring this time of year, but it always seems to herald disaster. You're happy to watch it fade away into daylight. Your mom lets out a dark chuckle and slaps you on the back. What a birthday! Here's another one, right? You both head back downstairs to the wreckage of the canteen, where they've put up temporary roofing with whatever tarps and scraps could be found. The colony nanoprinters, the few that still run, have been working day and night to replace the necessities of life, but larger construction projects are going to take some time. Aunt Anne has coaxed the kitchen nanoprinters into making soy gruel and pressed bars. Life-sustaining, but depressing. You and the other colonists eat your breakfast in stony silence as you mentally prepare for the day. Governor Udicott looks more frail than you've ever seen her, but her eyes remain determined. Last week they held a mass funeral for everyone who died. There's talk of turning the Stratospheric's destroyed front half into a memorial shrine after everything useful has been salvaged. There's still so much to do. Yay! It's still fucked up. Hooray! Okay, so I should probably... I don't want to equip this now. This is from my parents. I love my parents. Alright, rebuild, baby! You're assigned to help out in geoponics. The agriculturists have been hard at work trying to salvage what they can of the ruined fields and the destroyed greenhouses, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Your mom is in fine form in her role as chief cultivator. She'd never admit it, but managing a crisis is what she's made for. Cal's working in geoponics too, of course. He smiles when he sees you. Hey Sol, there's a lot of stuff to do. What do you want to work on? Rebuild the animal pens! The pens only suffered minor damage during the attack. Weirdly, most of the damage seems to have come from inside the pens, as if the normally tame animals had been stirred into a frenzy. Has nobody figured this out yet? Why is it weird? Yeah, the animals go fucking crazy. We know this. It happens every year. They go fucking crazy. Tangent is also here, though it's not to help hammer and nail things. She's studying the animals, trying to figure out what could have influenced them. She takes blood and hair samples and readings with some sort of complicated brain scanning device. Interesting, is all she says, not explaining her findings to you or Cal. Everyone is worried that this will be the final nail in the coffin for your food supply after the famine last year. You try not to think about it too hard, instead of focusing on just doing what you can to help rebuild. Here we go. Oh my god, 6. 6, 6, the devil's number. The devil's number. Here we go. You're eating in the mess tents when you hear something rumbling. Your bowl and cutlery start rattling. People look up, run an alarm. Could it be another attack? So soon? You begin to hear shouting from outside. Someone runs into the tent. There's something falling from the sky, they shout. It's on fire! You join the crowd of people leaving your temporary structures to gather in the colony square. People are squinting up into the milky, quiet sunlight, pointing and gesturing wildly. It's impossible to miss the thing hurtling towards you from space, like a great big ball of fire coming straight for you. Is this it? Is this the end? After all you've been through, a meteor's gonna land in the middle of your already ruined colony and kill you all? Yeah? It's a spaceship. Mars grabs your shoulder. It's another ship, she exclaims. Look, look, it's another spaceship from Earth! Excitement ripples through the crowd. Could it be? You stare up, unbelieving at the rapidly approaching ship. The flames of its entry into the atmosphere dissipate, but a thick column of greasy black smoke trails behind it. Soon you can hear the whistle of it ripping through the atmosphere at terminal velocity. That is not a controlled descent. It's an enormous ship coming at you way too fast. The ship's reverse thrusters fire, trying to slow it down so it doesn't smash into a billion pieces when it hits the planet. Everyone scatters to take cover. You crouch behind some rocks, throw your arms over your head, and squeeze your eyes shut. You hear the massive spaceship touch down in geoponics, plowing through the fields and grinding over what was left of the greenhouses. You're thrown to the ground from the force of the impact as shrapnel and small rocks zing past your head. It grinds along with some roaring monster cutting a great scar through the colony and kicking up an enormous cloud of dust. Finally, the ship comes to a creaking, shuddering halt. You and the other colonists carefully crawl out of your hiding places, coughing and rubbing your eyes. The new ship is half buried and obscured by dust, but you can tell it's from Earth. You squint to make out stenciled letters. Heliopause. A hatch opens in its side and silhouettes begin to emerge. Silhouettes with guns. Soldiers march out of the dust and quickly surround all of the remaining colonists. More soldiers form two parallel lines from the ship to the square, their guns in parade rest, and a lone figure strides down to the center towards you. Oh god. Hello? Fugitives! Greetings, fugitives of Earth, the man says, spreading his hands wide. A dismayed murmur ripples through the crowd. The adults exchange significant looks. Chief Engineer Instance tries to slip out of the crowd, but she's stopped by the line of soldiers. The man smiles. He has a broad, easygoing smile that doesn't match the threatening aura of the soldiers, nor the smoking ruin of the ship behind him. I am Commander Lum, he says proudly. As captain of the Heliopause, I've come to render aid and bring you to justice. I mean, listen. Udicott steps forward out of the crowd. You're not the commander of the Heliopause, she says firmly. Where is the person I was speaking to, Commander Morikawa? Everyone is surprised. Udicott has been in communication with this ship? For how long? I am captain of the Heliopause, Lum repeats stubbornly, then adds, according to the chain of command, we, sustained significant loss of personnel when we went through the wormhole. You can't help but notice many of the soldiers exchanged looks this time. You wonder how many people had to die before Lum became commander. As the commanding officer, Lum continues, I declare this colony to be under our protection. As such, you are all now subject to the laws of Earth. Oh god. To be quite blunt, young man, it appears you need us as much as we need you, Udicott replies primly. The Vertumnant colony, such as it is, offers our hospitality to our guests from Earth. Lum opens his mouth, but Udicott cuts him off. Now, there's no need for this posturing. Whatever the purpose of your mission here, you'll soon learn that on this side of the wormhole we're all human. Right now we need each other more than we need mandates from Earth. Udicott turns to the assembled colonists. Effective immediately, I will be stepping down as governor and turning leadership to the Council of Lum of the Heliopause, she says. She smiles genially at him. I hope that will satisfy your craving for justice, at least while we get our feet under us. Judging from the number of guns on display, you don't think you have a choice in this. It's a good thing the colony's in such pathetic shape right now, your mom mutters under her breath. If they thought we were a threat, they'd probably just shot us. Your dad squeezes your shoulders and tells her to be quiet. No one knows how to react. A new governor from Earth? Nearly 100 new colonists, most of them trained soldiers? What does this mean for the colony? The crowd disperses slowly and the council members follow Lum back into the heliopause, presumably to talk about the future of the colony. You hope. Stop doing that! Stop it, video game! You track down your friends. So what do you think about these new people, Mars asks. Oh, she's not doing well. Oh, Alex, thank you for the sip. My voice is bad. Also, Aerie, welcome back. The whole colony got destroyed by a giant monster without a face? And now there's new guys here. I mean, I don't know about this. I feel like this is more of a, like, they have guns, and I'm feeling kind of negative about the fact that they have guns. Not like, oh my god, we're gonna make new friends. They have guns! Like, they're just gonna boss us around, but like, times 10. Tangent nods. They don't live here. They don't know what it's like, and they're just gonna swoop in and act like they're better than us? She hugs her arms around herself. Did you see what they were doing to Instance? I didn't. The entire colony, now twice as many of you, sets to work on salvaging the wreckage of the heliopause, tearing it down and combining it with the Stratospheric's remaining engine section. Spirits are high, though these new colonists from the heliopause aren't like any people you've met before. With their uniforms and weapons, they're more like an invading force than a rescue. You weren't sure what it means for the colony, or for your future. As the dust settles, you rebuild your colony around the new ship, the heliopause. The new arrivals, soldiers mainly, are aloof at first. Many see you as fugitives. Together you build new walls, living quarters, greenhouses, and a massive bunkered garrison. The Stratos engineering wing is the only remainder of your old colony. The heliopause brought enough rations for another 5 years, as well as a rich seed bank and working hydroponics. They also have more guns and explosives than you've ever seen in your life. Even the ship has guns. A full stomach, a roof over your heads, and the promise of safety convinces most Stratocolonists to accept the Helios. In turn, the Helios decides that you criminals pose little threat. A grudging peace is brokered between the two groups. You decide you aren't so different, really. There are even Helio children born among the stars just like you. Oh my god, new room! After a month of hard work, you and your parents move into your new quarters. You get your own room for the first time in your life! You step out onto your very own balcony to watch the new colony, its grounds bustling with so many strangers and strange new ideas. Wow. You feel something rising in your chest that you haven't felt in some time. Hope? Excitement? What will the day bring? You better get out there and find out. Rush outside to greet the day. Unlike the caution that we felt before, we have progressed. Everything looks different, and I'm very upset about it. Okay, there's tangent. There's the this. This is so confusing. Okay. New person. 1 second. My favorite boy is here! My favorite boy who I saw pictures of is here! My favorite boy. Puppy. The colony is full of new people. Everywhere you look, you see a stranger. It's disorienting after growing up in a closed spaceship. I can't read. You never expected to meet any other humans that weren't made here on Vertumna. Look! He's a puppy! He's a doggy! I'm obsessed with him! He's a puppy and a doggy! Oh my god, I'm gonna cry! I'm gonna fucking cry. You bump straight into one of these new people while you're jogging through the colony. Oof. He laughs and holds you steady, brushing the imaginary dust off you and giving you a wide, fang smile. Hey, it's one of the kids from the heliopause. You think his name is Rex. Hi, hello, wow. Smooth Sola, real smooth. He cocks his head at you, smiling. Hi, he says gently. My name's Rex. You managed to get it hello. You weren't quite sure why he's having such an effect on your ability to speak or even think, but he doesn't mind. You notice he's wiggling his dog ears. They can really move independently. Okay, but I'm gonna flirt with the dog boy. I'm gonna flirt with the dog boy. Sorry to anyone who thinks I wasn't gonna flirt with the dog boy, but I'm going to flirt with the dog boy. Rex puts his hand against his cheek, looking cute and lost. Hey, since I'm new here, do you think you could help me find the construction yard? I think I might apply for a job there. For you? Anything. His eyes widen as you wink suggestively, and he grins, wiggling his ears and lolling his tongue out like a dog. So adorable! I might just take you up on that, he says. You tell him everything is a bit changed since the heliopause landed, but you think the construction yard is still near command. He thanks you for the directions. Shut up, Ari. Don't call me out. Shut up. You don't know me. You've seen Nomi around since the heliopause landed. They're around your age and barely 1.5 meters tall, only coming up to your shoulder. You've never seen anyone dressed as strangely as they do. Hi! Your voice is high-pitched and quick. I'm Nomi. It's short for nomination. They do a little twirl and bow. You introduce yourself. Ask about their gender. Yeah. Yeah. What? Oh yeah, I was so happy when we landed and I found out that you colonists have not boy and not girl people too. Sometimes people in the Helio don't get it, but honestly, I grew up with them, so they kind of got used to it. I was always told growing up that your colony was kind of backwards and weird, and we probably find you all banging rocks together and grunting like cavemen. Imagine my surprise when I got here and you have like actual adult people who are like me. Wow! Nomi gives you the secret non-binary high five. It's like a regular high five, pretty much. Anyway, you probably already know I use they them, as in Nomi sure has their act together, and gosh, Nomi's so cool. They have the unbeaten high score in Laser Fable for 2 years running. I doubt anyone can beat them. Challenge them to a game of Laser Fable, absolutely. You're on! Nomi helps you install it on your holopalm and explains the rules. Laser Fable is an augmented reality game where you bounce hologram lasers off of real objects nearby. It's speed-based, so you're running around and bumping into each other, and there are extended house rules about when it's legal to block each other's lasers. Continue with the challenge. Moonforest's new colonists arrived. We have new friends. Targets +2. Okay, wait. So I use 6 there. 10. Big. No, wait. It has to be this. Which isn't really super ideal. 4. What about that, huh? How do you feel about that? 6 boy. 5, 7, actually. 3. Right on, friendo! Nomi gives you a high five, then with a couple quick flips of their gauntlet gives you a kudos for winning. They explain this is how they always play Laser Fable with the kids from Heliosphere. Except they mostly don't want to play anymore. They say they're too old for it. They just want to be soldiers now. Except Rex, he's still cool. I agree, Rex is very cool, and my best friend. Look at them doing a little dance. Hi. You okay? You okay there, bud? You look like you have some kind of derogatory energy. The new boy from the Heliosphere is a couple years older than you. He's very handsome, and the missing arm gives him a heroic battle-scarred vibe. He stands tall and ready for action, even though it's a normal, boring day. The other recruits milling around the garrison give him a wide, respectful berth. He sees you stirring and gives you a curt nod. My name's Vase, Lieutenant Olivatius, he says, considering you with a glint of challenge in his eye. And you are? How do you introduce yourself? I just want to have some fun before I die. What about our name? I'm an explorer. His expression doesn't change. Is that right? He says, with the air of a boy who's hard to impress. Nice to meet you, Sola. Here it's been a rough couple years for the colony. Lucky thing our heliopause came along just in time, he continues. Don't worry, we have some of the best soldiers. The very best. We'll keep your colony safe. Are you one of those best soldiers? We train as a team, but... Vase says, then clears his throat. Yes, I've won more than my share of zero-G judo matches and virtual riflery tournaments. Even competing against adults, he adds. Being planetide's totally different. You tell Vase that firing a virtual gun is nothing compared to running for your life through the jungle while a wild unisaur hunts you down. A unisaur, Vase says, leaning forward a little, his eyebrows raised. Did you actually say something to interest him? That sounds like a fun sport. I'd like to try it sometime. This kid's a serial killer. Happy for him. You and Nem watch a unit of Helio soldiers jog by with Vase in the lead. Did you see that guy, she says, when they're out of earshot? He's kind of hot, right? I mean, yeah, but... Like, yeah, but look out. Egg. This was Com's favorite food, too. Okay, cool. Way to make me fucking depressed. Hi, Dis. I bet you fucking hate that there's so many new people. Dis looks more skittery than usual, looking around at the new defenses. There's too many people here now, he mutters. Too much noise. Too many mouths to feed. Whatever's out there isn't going to be happy with us. Okay. I just thought that I could dare him to go into the restricted area? There's a restricted area? Egg. Hello, my little tomato. Your dad's voice rings out across the fields, hale and hearty. You don't have it in yourself to be embarrassed, not during pollen, not with the memory of him struggling to breathe so fresh in your mind. Are you coming to chicken on your old man, he teases you? He takes a deep breath, holds it, and lets it all out comfortably. I'm doing great. No congestion, no sneezing, and I definitely don't want to take a hike outside the walls. That's why he kept wanting to leave. That's why he kept being like, I need to go for a walk. He wanted to go in the pit. Your dad pulls you into a big hug, ruffling your hair. He smells like sunshine and dirt and sweat, and you've never seen him happier to breathe it all in, and you've never been happier. He's alive. Can he die? I'm assuming he can. I'm proud of you, he says quietly. You can pull off miracles, kiddo. I don't want to think about the fact that Dad can die. You've barely seen your mom since the heliopause arrived. When you do, she looks frail, like all of her strength got used up last year, and she's only just starting to recover, except instead of relaxing, she's hard at work rebuilding the geoponics domes. Must be hard for her to shake the fear it might happen again. Being able to load your tray full of food at the canteen is still a luxury you don't take for granted. Sometimes you make up a tiffin for your mom so she doesn't miss lunch. Hey, Sola, she says, smiling as you approach. Is that lunch? I've been smelling the caramelized onions all morning. I can't wait. You deliver the tiffin into her grateful hands, and she cracks the lid and takes a big inhale. She smiles. You know, people used to give thanks before meals back on Earth. I think I understand why. I'm thankful you're here, Mom. She reaches over and ruffles your hair. You're a good kid, Sola, she says. She looks at you a second, weighing whether to continue. I know we don't talk about it, but I know how hard you busted your butt back then, making sure the colony didn't starve. When you're fighting for your life, that's when you know the true measure of a person, she continues solemnly. I wish you didn't have to be tested at such a young age, but you really showed what you were made of. I'm so proud of you, kid. Yay, my parents both love me! Against all odds. Okay. Can I go up here? What is this? Deliver supplies. Okay, I think I'm gonna go exploring again. Rex is so cute. He's a little puppy. He's a little puppy. Little man. Little puppy. Okay. How the fuck do I leave? How do I leave? What is that? Hi guys, I know you're squeaking. I know that you're squeaking. I hear you squeaking. Okay, this is the door where Dis is, obviously. Because Dis would never be far from the door. Let's forage in the valley again. Chief Surveyor Utopia stops you and Dis near the depot. Feel that, she asks? You can feel a kind of ominous distant thumping, pulsing regularly through the ground. If you stand still, you can feel it vibrate up into your own body too, like a massive global pulse. Utopia says, checking a root out on her hollow palm. I reckon it's naturally occurring, she concludes, but it's giving me the willies all the same. You two better check it out. Mind you stick together and take readings on the way in case it's dangerous. You and Dis look at each other, excited. You follow the thumping, now an audible noise growing louder, west until you've roughly triangulated its location. You know you're getting close, but it sounds like it's coming from all around you, and your instruments aren't precise enough to help. Follow the sound. The creatures! Beep, 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 beep. Beep, beep. Wait, no. Beep, beep. Beep. Beep, beep. Maybe even a little bit of a beep. No! 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 That's my answer. No. It's simply not. Absolutely not. You find a machine? An ancient, broken-down machine, like a small pyramid-shaped building made from some kind of dark stone or bone that looks like it grew that way. Except it isn't broken, it's just so very old and overgrown it looks more like a pile of rubble and roots than a building or engine or whatever it is. Still, a thumping noise comes from inside it. The vibrations are strong here, making your guts feel weird. I can't analyze. I don't have engineering. You don't notice it at first, but there's a curious path on the ground moving away from the machine. A line half a meter wide where the dirt's a little more worn and bare. It heads off in a straight line to the west, or coming from the west. Could animals have made this path, or the thumper itself? You run your hands over its pitted, vibrating surface. How could something so unbelievably old still work? It's definitely not natural. You can even see something like writing carved deep into the not-quite rock. Dis starts making unts, unts, unts noises under his breath. No! Don't fucking beatbox to the bone machine! The bone machine, Dis! Eventually you head back to share your findings with Utopia. Totally an alien civilization, Dis insists. Utopia scratches her head. I suppose, maybe, she says. You said it looked ancient, right? Perhaps there could have been another civ here long ago, but we have found other signs, but nothing active like this. Survey the ridge! It seems to be pointing west or receiving something. She snaps her fingers. There's some right ugly ridge lines out there that kept us from checking that direction, but we got gliders and motivation. That's half the battle. She makes a note in her hollow palm. I'll open up the western resting ridges for surveyors, she says, then grins. Whew, say that 3 times fast. Stick together with Dis. Dis looks at you curiously. Sure, if you're scared, he says. I'm not scared, Dis. I want to survey the ridge. Well, I don't want to be here then. I want to survey the ridge. I'm going home. I don't want to get too stressed out and then... Okay. Where's my puppy boy? Do you want a present? Rex hasn't gotten used to life on the surface yet. You remember your first year. Vertemna seemed so enormous, so full of dangers and mysteries. Well, it still does, but the shock eventually wore off. Rex still has that slightly bewildered look on his face every time he walks outside and the sunlight hits his face. It's so bright and warm. Oh, he's an engineer. I'm not. So, hugs incoming. Yeah, they fucking are. Rex throws his arms wide. Coach, I'm open, he laughs, catching you as you throw yourself into his arms. He spins you around and growls into your neck, squeezing you tightly. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. Yeah! You can give him another hug! I'm coming. Rex gives you the hug with just as much enthusiasm as before, lifting you off your feet. What a cute boy. What a cute boy. Do you want egg? Oh, he doesn't like egg. I have everything I need for real. This place is great. 3 squares and all the hugs I could ever need. But I'll tell you what, he says, leaning in. My birthday's in the first month of pollen, and I'd love a cake, if you know how to make one. Well, it's not the first month of pollen. I could get you a cake. Probably. From the store. I don't know where the store is anymore. I'm kind of... Oh, the store's up there, I think. I'm very confused. Yeah. Buy cake. Buy cake for the boy! Hey! I can't try again?! My boy! But I want to give him a kiss! He's a puppy! I want to give him a kiss because he's a puppy. No! Survey the ridge. Ooh, what the fuck is this plan? The only way to the resting bridges is by glider. Part vehicle, part kite, all adrenaline. You land on the rocky, broken-up spine of the nearest ridge and nearly fall over when you look down at the plummeting slope into the basin below. You are a long way up. Dis and Utopia glide in beside you. Woo! Utopia exclaims. You handled the glider like a champ, Dis. You too, Sola. She peers down over the slope of the ridge. A lot more exciting than the swamps, right? I want you two to stick together out there. It's dangerous in these ancient convergent domain ruins. Sorry? Convergent domain? Ruins? You look around. The landscape is like nothing you've ever seen before. Dry, cracked soil gives way to steep cliffs, and what little vegetation here is brittle and sharp. You can feel the dry air wick away the moisture in your lips. Wait, what the heck is that cute little nose doing in your cute little face? I'll kill you. What is this? What is that glowing thing on the ground? You point it out. Utopia gives it a nudge with her foot. Beats me, she says. You unearth the object. It's pulsing with light and warm to the touch. Hold up, Utopia says. Don't just go picking things up, Sola. Could be radioactive, you know. Stop it. Utopia waves her holopalm crystal over it, then checks her interface. Only a little, she concludes. Whatever it is, it looks old, like thousands of years old. We've been digging up glowing gadgets all over this region, but got no clue what they're for. You hang on to that one. Maybe you'll figure it out. Okay. Stone structures in the distance? Well, there are buildings here, Utopia says. Traces of them anyway. Maybe 10, 20,000 years old. We sure didn't put them there. This lights up at the prospect of doing alien archaeology. We've checked them out, but not thoroughly, mostly just trying to get a feel for who lived there and why they ain't here no more. Based on some glyphs, we've started calling them the Convergent Domain. Whoever they were, they built things to last, Utopia admires. It ain't just arrowheads and cave pennons, they're real architecture, machines even. What? I wish I had more to tell you, Utopia says. Most everything we found just poses new questions. The structures read more organic than anything, so does that mean their genetech was super advanced? Their gene tech. Genetech is what I said. As for this place, we think it was some kind of solar network for them, she says, squinting up into the two suns. Looking at it from above, you can see these big vines traveling up and down the ridges like power lines, and there's hardly any plant life elsewise, like they soaked up all the energy and made it a desert. But what'd they use all that energy for, she says, and if there was a civilization so big and so advanced on Vertumno, why can't we find more traces of it? Where are the cities? What were them thumpers for, and what happened to them all? She's right, that's a lot of questions. Maybe you can help find some answers. What's that crystal stuff down below? Oh, those, Utopia says, pointing to a crystal formation so densely packed into the ravine that it looks like a sparkling river. More outcroppings of crystals decorate the slopes. They're all over the place. Be careful with them, not sure if they're animal, vegetable, or mineral. My favorite question. She points off into the distance. There's a big island of them over there like a glacier. Covers the whole damn place. Might be related to the Convergent Domain, but we aren't sure yet. So anyway, those ruins are the main thing we need you to survey while you're out here, Utopia says, but keep an eye out for anything else weird. Utopia claps the dust off her hands. Well, my job here's done. You're all set, kid, trying to fall off a cliff. This jumps back on his glider, too, as usual. He's gonna scout on ahead and catch up with you later. I am so ready to explore a new location. Puppy Boy, a precarious natural land bridge, drops down sharply on both sides here. You kick a rock over the side, but don't hear it hit the bottom. Do you cross? Cross it very carefully. The thing is, God, my deck is too big. Then again, I have a lot of red cards, and that's really useful. But holy shit, I have so many fucking cards in my deck. I'll take another one, sure. You shovel across it slowly, examining the cracks and sticking to the solid places. You accidentally send a few more pebbles skittering over the edge and think, better them than me. Great. You're walking along a ridgeline when your foot kicks some rocks down the slope. You anticipate the familiar clatter as they plunge down into the chasm, but realize it's silent, just the wind. You peer down the slope. Nothing's falling? Wait, the rocks you dislodged with your foot are just floating! You take a step forward and realize you feel lighter too, like you've taken off your mountaineering gear. You take another step forward. It's a struggle to keep your feet on the ground. With one more step forward, you realize it's possible to take both feet off the ground. You're floating! You nudge your foot and let the momentum float you forward a few feet, feeling more untethered by gravity the further forward you go. The ridgeline is narrow, with a steep drop on either side. There's no way around this strange anti-gravity field, and if you fall out of it, you might plummet into the chasm. Yeah, I mean, let's go. I'll die. Wait. I can make it... No, I don't want that. Or do I? Because then they all match. Well, I want this to be a 4, though. That's a problem. This kind of sucks. Well... It's fine. Okay, beep. Oh, it made me happy. And I learned engineering from floating. You float forward, allowing yourself to rise higher and higher until you're able to swim and tumble through the air with ease. Woo! Wow! You're totally weightless! You float over a shiny, lumpy rock jetting up from the spine of the ridge. As you pass over it, you feel gravity gently begin to embrace you again, pulling you back down. Your feet touch the ground again on the other side, and your legs immediately give out. What a rush! You mark the location on your map for other surveyors. Hell yeah. What's this way? The flies here are awful. They come out in the heat of the day and buzz around you incessantly. They don't bite, but they seem to want something from you. Maybe the water or salt from your sweat? I hope they aren't laying eggs. This calls the most annoying ones rod flies because they're like long, flexible sticks with a bunch of wings. They swarm in clouds around your face no matter how hard you try to shoo them away. He says they remind him of Mars. There are other ones too, like the one that's just a big eyeball with a couple pairs of little wings. They make a loud buzzing sound and are always just out of reach when you try to swat them away. Today, your personal nemesis is one of those eye flies. There was a whole bunch of them earlier, but only one has persisted. It's been following you, staring at you all morning. You and Dis have been batting at it for an hour, but it's a fast dodger. Dis has finally given up and just plods forward. It even lands on his head, but he doesn't care. Swat it! Swat the creature! Okay, 21 or 24. I'm going to do 24. I'm just going to stick with the thing that I did. And then... Oh, 6. And then 6. And then... What happened? A lot happens when I do that, and I'm kind of unclear. Oh, card becomes 3. I, like, really wasn't looking at that. Okay. I really blacked out in a way that is undescribable. Okay, 3-3. Seems pretty good to me. Win. The eye fly is like the size of a human eyeball and made of concentric rings of rainbow hues, black, yellow, green, blue, and purple. You find yourself staring right back at it. You wonder if the rings have something to do with light refraction. You let it land on your arm. Then you strike! Got it! Squashed! 10 minutes later, there's a new fly following you. Good. I'm glad. Exclamation mark. You've been saved a few times from certain doom, or at least discomfort, and it can't have been a coincidence. Something or someone has taken an interest in you. You're being followed. You're beginning to get a feel for this place and its dangers, so the next time you hear the mournful hoot of a passing air squid, you head towards it instead of away, keeping an eye out for anyone watching you from the cliffs. There, just as you think you're going to have to grab its tentacles and fly it like a kite to get your savior to show up, you see a shadowy humanoid figure appear over a nearby ridge. You make eye contact and both freeze. His almond-shaped eyes widen in his not-quite-human face, and he slips out of sight again. Track him. Rather than rush after him, you use your tracking skills to carefully follow his path and sneak up on him. You pounce like a manticore, and the two of you tumble to the ground. You pin his arms. Hi? This is a horny shot. This is a horny shot. Hi? You get a good look at his face for the first time. The long, delicate features, the odd tone of his skin, almost purple, and his glittering alien eyes. Before he can answer your questions, you jump off him and back away. What is he? He brushes the dirt from his clothes and stands up tall. Very tall. You have to take another step back to get a good look at him. You catch a glimpse of a pale purple wrist under his tattered black sleeves. Delicate, like bird bones. I am a gardener, he purrs, and you're trespassing on my planet. Now that you can see all of him, you confirm he's definitely not human. Besides the purple tint to his skin, he's also just constructed differently. Human but not, and taken as a whole, those little discrepancies add up to something that is decidedly alien. You're an alien! He laughs, a light and infectious chuckle that sounds more animal than human. It goes on for a bit too long. You think he might be poking fun at you. Actually, you're the alien here if you think about it. You do think about it. He's right. He jumps up onto a large rock and crouches, eyeing you thoughtfully. Let's make a deal, he says. He speaks with an odd inflection, putting the wrong stress on things, but the words themselves come easily enough to him. I'm not supposed to talk to you, he says. It's against the rules, but since you've caught me, I can grant you one wish. He smiles mischievously. Is this a joke? I want to know more about you. He gives you a sly look. In time, Sola, I hope. He pauses and his eyes unfocus for a moment. He stares straight ahead, unblinking. Then he slowly stretches like a cat and stands up. Well, this has been fun, but I'm afraid duty calls. He doffs an invisible hat towards you. My name is Symbiosis, by the way, or Sim, if you like. He jumps behind the rock and disappears. Literally, he disappeared. You search all around and can find no trace of where he might have gone or how. You just met an alien! And he was really horny! That was the horniest encounter. We are 15 years old and pinning aliens to the ground. No. I fucking hate these. Oh my god, engineering challenge? I will fucking fail. You find your way blocked by a massive wall. No, a hollow pillar knocked over and lying on its side in the sand. It's absolutely massive. It stretches to your left and right at least a kilometer in each direction, though at some point it's crumbled enough that you could likely scale over it. Check it out! Fuck yeah, dude. Wait, should I do 5? Okay, 17, 23. Or... Yeah, no, 23 is like the best. Get in there. All right. No, stop. 7, 5, 2, 2. 25. I'm powerful. I'm strong. And nothing can get me down. So... This looks giddy as you follow the pillar to its base, a large pyramid almost entirely lost under the sand. You brush away some of the sand and find that the pyramid is inscribed on all sides with pictures of, well, wormholes, you think. The pillar must have once stretched up into the sky. Maybe it was some kind of observatory or sacred building or just a monument to the wormhole. Mysterious. Can we tell Dis that we literally talked to an alien? I feel like Dis would find that pretty interesting. If we were like, hey Dis, I spoke to an alien. You haven't been down to the deepest crevices of the ridges, where the crystals grow thick and the air is stagnant and dead. It's already sweltering on the ridges, but in the chasms you can see the heat warping the air, almost like a permanent fog. Utopia says the air's so thick and still that you can't even use your glider down there. At least one thing survives in the haze, though. While you take a break for lunch one day, you can see flickers of silver dart in and out of the fog, like ripples of light on a lake. As you unpack your tiffin box, the silver flashes come up out of the fog and begin to surround you. They're animals. Eyeless, almost translucent creatures about the length of your arm, trailing meters-long tentacles behind them. Their mournful hooting is magical and strange. You look them up on your holopalm. Oh, air squid babies! Wait, air squid are predators. The creatures! Wait. Fucking powerful. Holy shit. Air squid babies, show them to me. You duck behind some roots and keep perfectly still as the creepy creatures float around and past you. They don't seem to be hunting for food, they must be on their way somewhere. Air squid adults are solitary hunters, but these juveniles form large groups and move together fluidly like schools of fish. Once they're a safe distance away, you take some notes on their social behavior. The oddest thing is how many there were, hundreds of the things, but mature air squid are very rare creatures, more often heard than seen. It must be a tough life if so few of them reach adulthood. Oh, the poor little guys! Oh. Hi, Sim. You're following an animal path through the underbrush when a change in the ambient noise makes you stop in your tracks and listen. You get the feeling you're not alone. By now, you're getting used to the feeling of being watched. I know you're there, Sim. You're answered with silence, and you have the fleeting thought that if you're right, you probably sound pretty cool. And if you're not, and you're talking to yourself in the jungle like an idiot, at least there's no one around to see. A tall form steps out casually from behind a rock. Why, hello again, says Sim, smiling. He bows to you like a courtier, a gesture that looks perfectly elegant on him, but nonetheless carries a deep sense of still being alien. You take the chance to get a good look at him. He's like a human, but not just genetically enhanced. He's a whole different species, an alien, a gardener, whatever that means. It's a lot to take in. You look... He puts a finger to his chin in an exaggerated expression of contemplation, like a wide-eyed sugar bud. His hair slithers around the sides of his head like it's trying to get a better look at you. You find your voice and croak. Why can't I say this? I haven't told anybody about him, so it wouldn't matter. I haven't told anyone about you. That is for the best, Sim hums. If my people knew I was talking to you, I would be in some deal of trouble. I imagine it would be much the same for you. He smiles. Think of me as your fairy godmother. This is an Earth concept you recognize, correct? You certainly need one. What do you mean? Because, my sugar bug, you're about to stumble into a nest of young snapbladders. I thought you might need rescuing again. Sure enough, you realize you can hear their mewling up ahead. Even the nestlings can be deadly in numbers. And with that warning, I believe my job here is done, Sim purrs and turns to leave. No, you're too horny. Wait. He leaves. Sim. The energy Sim. Ooh, what's this? The crystal place. You're treated to a spectacular sight, an enormously long caterpillar dragon kind of creature. I would like to see it. Way off in the distance, it's thousands of legs and kilometer of shimmering bodies snaking in and out of the haze at the bottom of the chasm. You just watch it. It's terrifying. It's like a train. Take some readings. It's so far away, but you record its movement coordinates and take a video for Utopia. But not a video for me, the gamer. Which is unfair. Multiple strange devices. I'm sure that gathering them up will have no negative impact on me whatsoever. So I will continue. A beautiful little locust lands on your arm. It calmly washes its face with its forearms and vibrates its wings like it's cooling off. The poor little guy's all alone. Befriend! Befriend the creature! Buh. Befriend a creature. Three. The thing is, I can do this. And that's pretty sick. I'll just put you here, I guess. 3, 3, 2, or 2 and 2, or 2 and 2, 3, 4, whatever, I win. Put a 3 there, I don't really care. Look it up on your holopalm. It's a mask wing, named because when it's frightened, it opens its wings all the way and flips them forward, making it look like a grimacing manticore. Scary. But even scarier is how much they can eat. They usually eat leafy plant matter, but they're not above eating fabric, wood, hair, or even skin. They swarm in dust and in hot place like the ridges. You see something out of the corner of your eye and look up from your new friend. In the distance, you see a haze above the ground. It's the locusts. Each one bigger than your fist. These insectoids can eat their weight in under an hour. There are millions of them out there, and they'll be here soon. Your buddy takes off to join its friends, and you gotta go. You make it to your glider in time, thankfully. You come back to this place later in the week. What foliage there had been is now stripped bare. The only things still standing are the crystals glinting in the sunlight. I'm very stressed out. I know I have to go home. I just want to pick up any things that are on the ground. This goes on forever. Oh my god. Let's go home, bud. Oh, Dis! You and Dis are sitting on the tailgate of one of the expedition's vehicles, shelling bobber seeds with your teeth and spitting the hard bits on the ground. Now and then one of you points out something funny a passing surveyor does, or spots something under the mush trees. This is the easiest way to talk to Dis, by not talking at all. Dis has always been like this. Being isolated from the other kids has made him thoughtful. Out of everyone, you think Dis might understand about Sim, and be able to keep the secret. Do you tell him? I mean, I think he needs to kiss the alien. You tell Dis that you saw something interesting when you were out in an expedition. Dis perks up immediately, turning to look at you. Yeah, he asks? What? I met an alien, Dis. His jaw drops and his face goes an interesting color. You're worried for a moment he's going to be upset with you for teasing him, but... No way, Dis hisses, leaning in. But I met an alien too. Solo, what was yours like? Like us, but an alien? You describe Sim, his long dark hair, his big eyes, his faintly purple skin, the way he never seems to answer any of your questions. Dis stares at your face. Wait, you met Sim too? You nod and Dis's hands fly to his hair. He said he met another human kid, but he didn't say who it was. It was you this whole time. He made me swear I wouldn't tell anyone else, Dis says earnestly. It's a weird expression on him. He said if other humans found out about the gardeners, we'd all be in a lot of danger. So, we can talk about Sim, but we have to keep it a secret. Yeah. Dis nods, looking serious. Good, he says simply, then repeats it. Good. You go back to shelling bobber seeds in silence, watching the colony go about its business. Alien friends. Alien friends. Hi, bud. It's too soon, but I bought you a cake. Okay, I'll give it to you next year. I guess. I'll just keep it in my pocket for a year and then give it to you. That seems normal. Does anyone have anything to say to me? Hi, bud. You pass a group of soldiers from the heliopods leaving the garden. One of them eyes you with disdain, but the rest ignore you. Inside, Cal is scowling as he rakes up a planting bed. His expression softens when he sees you, but not by much. Hey, Solo, he says, did you see those jerks? They're always sniffing around here trying to start a fight with me. I think their leader's that mouthy kid, Vase. He leans one arm in his rake. Whatever, joke's on them. I ain't gonna play their little soldier games. I have more fruit. Enjoy. Are we bestest friends? Yeah, we fucking are. Is there a park now? Does the park exist? And can I go inside of it? Hell yeah, I can. You spend some time with Fluffy! Apparently humans didn't really domesticate dogs. Wolves just started hanging around humans, knowing that they got given leftover food when they cooperated. That's kind of what you hope will happen with when the Vriki. Sometimes when you're playing with Fluffy, it acts just like the dogs on the holovids. My best friend. Do I want to forget? No. Why do I never get to forget, like, my lowest cards that do nothing? You know? When's your birthday again? Early pollen? It's not early pollen, so... Mom and Dad are taking a midday break in the shade of a trellis and wave you over as you approach. Sola, come here, your dad says, pulling up a crate with his foot and patting the top invitingly. Come spend some time with your own mom and pop. How's your day been? Not bad. Our fearless explorer, your mom drawls, taking a swig from her canteen. She wipes her mouth with the back of her hand and passes the canteen back to your dad. Made friends with any alien life forms yet? Your face goes on a journey. Friends with any what? Do they know about Sim? How could they? Your parents chuckle at your expression. Wow, Sola, your dad says. You know, like the little hop eyes that sneak in, or a blip bug. Oh, those kind of aliens. You thought for sure they were talking about Sim, but no, it's a secret. Sim is a secret. Your mom and dad nod and go back to their conversation. You sit with them for a while and share the canteen. It's ice blep tea. You're not supposed to drink it because it makes you feel kind of buzzy, but it makes the rest of the afternoon fly by. Secret creatures. Hi, Rex, I want to hug again. You're so cute! Rex folds you into his arms, bending his whole body to you. He smells warm and a little spicy, like clean sweat and sunshine. He's such a good boy. Why can I only hug this boy and not the people that I've, like, grown up with for my whole life? Like, I have known some of these kids since I was a baby, and I can't hug them. But this stranger? Perfectly acceptable. Hey, Anemone. Nem doesn't say anything as you approach, but I got you an egg. Nem gives you a little smile. Thanks for remembering my birthday, Sola. It's hard without Calm here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Anemone. I'm sorry, bud. Okay, so I have... these... Can I, like, study them in the engineering lab or something? No. It's been a while since you've taken a physics class. You wonder who they got to teach it after Professor Hal died. He was the teacher back on the ship. Who could possibly replace him? Congruence is waiting placidly for class to begin. Oh, Sola, hello, she says as you take your seat. It's been a while since you joined us to learn about the grand world of physics. Don't be surprised, I'm teaching this class now in Professor Hal's absence. Congruence takes her place at the front of the class. Today we will learn about me. I'm the ship's onboard intelligence. But what does that mean? Does anyone have any questions for me? Just listen. Congruence explains that she had to do all kinds of calculations to help fly the ship and land it, and that she was designed to provide a user-friendly interface to the ship's systems. But Hal modded me to be far more than that, she says proudly. Now I can even tell jokes. Why did the computer cross the road, she says. Why? Congruence smells wildly. Oh, no. Yep. Good job. No, I mean good job. You did it. 3, 3, 1, 5, 6. Just win. Just win. Oh! Nomi's here. Oh, the Vumternalia Festival is a welcome day of normality in an otherwise chaotic year. Despite some lingering rivalry between the two factions, Vertumnalia is a chance for the Helios and the Stratos to come together and appreciate the bounty of the planet. At least that's what the adults say. As Governor Lum takes the stage to address the colony, you can't help but notice the crowd has segregated itself according to their ship of origin. Rex shoots you away from over on the Stratos side, and Nomi makes a silly face. Vase is surrounded by other young soldiers, all looking sharp in their Heliopause uniforms. With Cal standing beside you, you wonder if the two ships will ever feel like one colony. A fanfare plays over the square's announcement system. Lum's honor guard do a complex drill with their drone rifles. Greetings, people of Vertumna, Lum says, his voice ringing out over the square. We may be far from our beautiful Earth, but we can still celebrate and be thankful for what we have here. We've worked hard to save this beleaguered little colony from the brink of destruction and should be proud of our work. The Helios cheer. Your side of the square is more quiet. I know some of you have been asking, Lum, How are you doing it all by yourself? How are you going to run the colony, solve everyone's problems, turn this planet into a paradise, and look this good? Lum stripes opposed to a smattering of polite applause. Well, I have the answer for you, he continues. The old council made a lot of bad choices, like illegally leaving Earth. But I believe in second chances, so I've appointed the original department heads to my own council, Lum's Council 2.0. Better not disappoint me, he laughs and makes finger guns of the department heads at the foot of the podium. Stay on your toes, Stratos. I hate this guy. I also want to promise everyone here today that we're going to make Vertemna safe for humans, Lum says. The next time those bastard Xenos attack, we're going to blow them to so many little pieces, there won't be enough left to wipe off our boots. We've already got the defenses, he says, gesturing broadly to the new, taller, thicker walls. We're building homes for everyone, homes where people can raise children again, knowing that our military men and women are keeping us safe. Big cheers from both sides this time. Some of the colonists around you even have tears in their eyes, especially those who lost family in the last attack. Lum goes on for a while, lionizing the Heliopause's military strength and casting subtle digs at your failed colony experiment. Finally, the crowd disperses to set up the square for the afternoon festivities, some traditional and some new. At the tables, Aunt Anne and the kids are setting out the spread for dinner. There's an unimaginable amount of food thanks to the Heliopause's huge ration surplus and the piles upon piles of xenommeat from the hunting parties for those who can stomach it. Anne is all smiles, clearly making an effort to move on, as Lum mandated despite still mourning her lost son Calm. But not even the festive atmosphere can force a smile onto Nem's face. God. We should kind of probably be mourning. Just in respect. But also it's party time. We should be mourning. Nem nods. We should have skipped Vertemnalia this year, she says quietly. We can't celebrate being alive when people died. The chime sounds to announce that the squire set up for the annual competitions. Xeno wrangling? I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I'm gonna leave. You get off to the wall where you find this. Oh, it's you, he says. The slightly cooler breeze coming from the forest gently tousles his hair. What do you want? Why is all of our flirting like this? Why is it like this? Why can't we just be, like, normal and subtle about things? I mean, we're 15. I'm gonna flirt with this. You try to say it suggestively, but you aren't sure he understands. Oh, Dis mumbles. He picks at a loose thread in his sleeve, worrying a hole near the cuff of his thumb. That's cool, I guess. By mutual silent agreement, you and Dis stake out places on the wall a comfortable distance apart. It's peaceful. This place sucks now, Dis says after a few minutes of silence. I can't believe we got taken over by a bunch of stupid soldiers and everyone's down there playing nice with them and pretending like they're gonna help us. He looks out towards the wilderness. What's out there is bigger than their guns. I know it. After the festivities, the mood in the colony is a lot lighter. You see people smiling easier and often see mixed groups of Helios and Stratos socializing together. It feels like the first time people have actually let themselves relax. Yay! It's party time! Hi, Rex. I'll give you a cake after. Do you want a flower? He won't accept any presents. That's so cute. He's like, no. Unless it's my birthday and you get me a cake, I'm not interested. Okay, well, I'm gonna go outside again and try to find my new boyfriend who is an alien. But also my boyfriend Dis, but also my boyfriend Rex. But also my boyfriend Cal. Just something to consider. You're trudging along when suddenly you're buffeted by a hot wind. No, like, a very hot wind. Lethally hot. The ridges are already baking, but all of a sudden it feels like you're trapped in a nuclear reactor. Your skin dries out and your lips begin to crack. Your eyeballs feel like sandpaper. Find the source. You take careful readings from a distance, triangulate them, and discover the source of the wind, a red sports ball-sized crystal emanator hidden in a small crevice. When you smash it, it doesn't shatter like crystal, it almost looks like it could have been organic. Was it some kind of defensive barrier? Yet another weird mystery of these ridges. Yeah, let's break it and go on ahead. I'm sure that's a good idea. There's a strange heat haze shimmer across the path ahead. Oddly, it doesn't clear up as you get closer. The mirage effect is very strong. The refracted air makes it look like there's a pool of water on the ground and plants waving around it, but something's just off about the illusion. You can't put your finger on why. Well, I'm going to. 69 nice, nice, and, nice, 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 fucking nice. All blue, baby. The faster you move, the faster the mirage disperses. You approach cautiously. As you do, you realize what's wrong about the mirage. It's impossible. The plants on the other side of the haze are different, not just wibbly-wobbly from the layers of air, but bigger, older. And it's a different time of day, evening, not morning. Then you see them. It's you. Through the heat haze, you see yourself in the distance walking towards you. You move to the edge of the mirage and peek around it, but they aren't there. You can only see them through the heat haze, like it's some kind of doorway. We're going in. You take a running leap and jump through the heat haze. You're surprised to find yourself on the other side, alone, with everything looking normal. You turn around, the heat haze is gone. You're pretty sure you're still where you started. It's still morning. Weird. No, we're in another dimension now, so... Everything we've worked so hard for is over. Where the fuck am I? We're gonna finish up this expedition and then end the stream. And then I'm gonna go make blueberry jam. Oh, my pets are... They'll keep up. They're trying. Come on, buds. Oh, my favorite little guys. Hi, Sim. You're sitting on a hilltop eating a sandwich when Sim strolls casually out of the jungle, the bushes barely stirring as he brushes past. He sits down close to you, crossing his elegant legs beneath him on the bare ground. He watches you intently without saying a word. Hello, Sim. He looks like he's choosing his words carefully, considering what to say. Finally, he replies, Hello, Sola. He nods towards your lunch. Good lunch? Do you want some sandwich? He takes a piece with thanks and tries it, chewing thoughtfully and quietly. He replies, his face neutral. What is in it? Zucchini, it's a vegetable from Earth. You explain to Sim that zucchini's boring, but about the only thing that grows well here, and the bread is made of grain that grows in geoponics, which is fed through a grinder to make flour, and then mixed with yeast and salt and baked in an oven. Sim is riveted. What else? There's mayonnaise? Sim mouths the words mayonnaise silently. What is that made of? Oil and water emulsified by soy protein. You explain that it would normally be made with eggs instead of soy protein, but the decision was made long before you were born that the colony could rely more on plant-based proteins to avoid the ecological burden of caring for domesticated animals on board the stratospheric. Sim nods intently. And why 2 pieces of bread instead of 1? Why does the bread go on the outside? That's because, wait, why do you care? It's just that you humans are so fascinating, Sim blurts out. He blinks and straightens his shoulders. I mean, it's just that my people conceptualize time on a quite different scale than humans do, so we're rather boring. Or no, predictable is more the correct word. It lends itself to a far lesser degree of chaos. He smiles. Humans, though. Now you are a rather chaotic species, aren't you? In only 1 short generation, you completely reinvented your society to adjust to life on another planet. Novelty is something of a novelty in a stable system such as this. He picks up the frayed hem of his clothing. Why, even this is new. I have no need to cover my body for protection and certainly feel no social or moral obligation to. Sim extends his arm, preening. How did I do? I'm gonna flirt with Sim. Do you have anything that needs covering? Sim blinks rapidly and smiles. Well, that's an interesting phrasing. Regardless of what's under my clothing, the phrasing of your question implies that I would feel a need to cover it, and the answer to that question is no, I do not feel I need to cover anything on my body. He folds his hands in his lap. Perhaps it is not the answer you crave, but it is the one you deserve for the time being. You have a million questions for Sim. How does he speak your language? Where did he get those clothes? How did he know your name? Sim only holds up his hand with a wistful smile. I would answer your questions if I could. I'm afraid, however, that it is simply not the time. What is your earth saying? The trees have ears? He rises to his feet, not bothering to dust himself off. I like the feel of those words in my mouth. Your language is so beautifully complex. Learn Sim more! You watch Sim walk down the hill and disappear into the trees as if he had never been there at all. Not even the grass is bent in the place he sat. My boy! Learned Sim more. So jot that down. The path ahead is blocked by a field of snaking vines and brambles. They're flowering, enormous happy blossoms swaying in the shimmering heat waves. You could push through them, but your holopalm beeps a warning, a radiation warning. These flowers seem to be highly radioactive, far too radioactive for the mild shielding your suit provides. You might be able to pass through if you don't mind feeling the effects of radiation sickness until you can detox at a med. Well, if it doesn't kill you outright, take a sample. And then turn around. I'm not gonna die. Even though I should. But I don't feel like perishing. What's this? No, go this way. What's this? Every so often you see absolutely massive creatures here, like giant snake dragons with thousands of legs and shimmering scales. They're so large that if one crosses your path, you're in for a wait. Which is exactly what you're doing. Their gargantuan dragon has been slowly lumbering over this ridge for at least half an hour, its body disappearing into the heat haze of the chasms on both sides. Its feet slowly undulate across the cracked soil, making shushing noises and scattering boulders. Climb up on its back! The creature is moving more than slowly enough for you to climb up, using its large, soft spikes as handholds. It's going to take hours to get anywhere interesting, but from up on its back you can see further. Also, there are other creatures up here. You've climbed up right next to a cluster of Dorbs moths, heads tucked under their wings like they're sleeping, and in the other direction there's even a bush bub. Or rather, it looks like a pile of rocks and some twigs. I want to wait and see where it's going. I got bored. Centimeter by centimeter, the Goliath makes its way into the chasm. You feel the air grow thicker and less hospitable until the sheer density of the heat and your drought makes you feel genuinely concerned for your safety. You climb up the creature's back, segment by segment, until you're back at the top of the ridge, then drop down on the other side. Woo, scary. I'm gonna go home. I'm back! Why did the music do that? Okay. Spooky. I saw Papa. I'll talk to Papa and then we'll end the stream. You catch your parents muttering about the new governor and people from the Heliopause. Your mom seems to be upset. The word fascist catches your ear. This might be your chance to ask some of the burning questions you had. Is Governor Lum some kind of space cop? Your dad looks startled and tries to muster a friendly smile. You overheard us, eh, kiddo? Your mom gives him a warning sideways glance. Listen, Sola, he hesitates and looks around nervously as if afraid you're being watched. You're just gonna have to trust us adults on this one. There are things you're still too young to understand. I'm not too young! Your mom stiffens, but your dad motions to calm her. I thought the same thing about myself once, he says gravely. I was wrong. The Helios came here just like us, looking for a better life, he tells you. Some of them had other reasons too, but now that they're here, we have to learn how to work together. When your mother and I were young on Earth, we learned a hard lesson, he gives a grim smile. We learned a lot of hard lessons. One was that it's safer to be led by one dangerous person than be attacked by an army of them. He lets that sink in. Another was that sometimes when adults tell you not to worry, you should listen to them. Go on, enjoy your youth. He gestures towards the Heliopause. Go get to know some of those new kids. I'm sure you'll find that they're a lot like you. Before you can say another word, they're called back to work. There's still so much to be done to rebuild the farms and geoponics greenhouses, and you can see people from the Helio helping your parents. Maybe they aren't all that bad. For now. Okay, my throat is dying. Puppy. And it's time. So, I'm gonna close the menu. The song's gonna stop. Thank you all for being here with me and the creatures. we're gonna flirt with everybody, and we're gonna kiss the puppy. And I'm very excited. And God, I'm gonna go make jam now. And I will see you all tomorrow for more of this. Have a very good day. Goodbye.